What would you do if you found out your childhood became a source of content creation? Not by accident or because you were famous, but because your mom decided to make a profit out of your suffering. When your breakfast is 3 powdered donuts, your lunch is a plate of processed nuggets, and your dinner, well, is a protein brick made of ground beef or pork with ketchup glaze. There are no vegetables or any green foods in your meals, which raises the question, does she even care about her children's nutrition? With over 846,000 followers on TikTok, Alexandra Sabal is a 28-year-old stay-at-home mom from the southern U.S. who built a $3,000 to $10,000 monthly empire on pure dysfunction.
We got Pizza Hut.
Every day she wakes up and guesses what she should post today to get the maximum attention. Maybe it's the kitchen with flies breeding on raw meat and maggots on forks. Maybe it's her 6-year-old daughter begging to sleep in the living room because her bedroom is 105 degrees Fahrenheit, but she refuses and then posts the video. Perhaps it's the boyfriend's creepy and disgusting behavior around her kids. Spoiler alert, she still took him back into the family. She somehow finds the time to film 11 to 12 videos a day. On top of that, she deliberately calls herself lazy and uses minimal effort to cook for her own kids. Her content revolves around turning her neglect of her children into daily material for the algorithm. She initially posted videos of her cooking and plating meals for her family.
No. I'm getting your food, huh?
Her first video caught the attention of the viewers in mid-January 2024. It was where she casually filmed herself smashing 3 powdered donuts into a plate. She then proceeded to add a packet of apple juice and give it to her 1-year-old daughter for breakfast. However, her daughter has no choice but to pick up the donut because she knows that's the only thing that she'll be getting for her daily meal. She gets the attention of millions of people across the world with this particular video. Her next viral video is about making meatloaf with her bare hands. Just ground beef, pork, eggs, and breadcrumbs drenched in ketchup glaze. No vegetables, no sides, a protein, fat, sugar bomb with no fiber for her 3 kids. In another video, she just casually emptied half a bottle of oil into the pan, which is one of her most viewed videos, with about 65 million views.
I injured myself trying to cut fries.
She continues cooking with an open cut on her finger, burning the meat patties with the seasonings. She posted a video that got more than 22 million views on the 24th of June 2025. People noticed that she had pizza boxes racked up in the corner, telling you exactly what she feeds her kids.
Food, honey. We got Pizza Hut. We got Wendy. We got Mexican food. We got Chinese. We got pizza. We got Chinese. We got Mexican food. We got pizza. We got pizza.
Foods like these are okay once a week or so, but daily it's like deliberately ruining your kids' health, which can lead to serious health issues like diabetes and obesity. She also runs a second account. A lot of the posts on this account are just ads for things in the TikTok shop that are cheaper with her code. That really tells us about how much she loves shopping and how much money she wastes on this addiction.
I got this baby toy off the TikTok shop for my friend that's having a baby. And this is my favorite hair tool on the market.
Her content is different from other tired moms online because of her raw and original representation. She posts almost daily to make money. She arranges lighting, filming, and editing. She adds hashtags, but the cook time exceeds the budget. She dismissed the issue of her inadequate cooking and placed the blame on her children.
Did you make for lunch?
Chicken nuggets and fries. My toddler's pretty picky when it comes to her.
Her horrible cooking caught some moms' attention after she went viral. They came to her defense, saying it was pure double standards and hypocrisy to mom shame her, because if she had been a rich millionaire mother, everyone would have been praising her instead of giving hate.
Sue me.
Go!
do better.
This started a trend in her support. You're doing great. Most moms don't even feed their kids. Thank you for at least being a mother to their kids. No hate to mothers trying because everyone has their own problems. God loves y'all. They are fed. Y'all need to leave this mama alone. You're doing so great. Ignore the haters. They're only jelly. They can't do it for their kids. Half the comments cheered her on. They said people should never judge her and just leave her alone. On the other hand, many people weren't satisfied with her ways, and they knew something was terribly wrong. She makes everything look so hard. There is way too much for a 1-year-old, whereas the fruit and veggies, come on, that's just not healthy. This was just a mediocre content repackaged to earn money at the cost of her kids' well-being. To prove that she cared about her kids' health, she posts a grocery haul on the 3rd of October 2025. She was under the illusion that organic meant healthy, but the truth was most organic foods were packaged and factory-made.
Like Cheerios, but chocolate flavored and a lot healthier. Like they have all their ingredients listed on the side of the box, and it's all organic, non-GMO type ingredients. Very good for you. My kids love mac and cheese, so I got these mac and cheese cups, these Annie's ones. My 3-year-old loves Pop-Tarts, like it's one of her favorite foods. So I got these organic Thrive Market Pop-Tarts, which are healthy, to see if she likes these so that we can completely replace Pop-Tarts out of her diet because she absolutely loves Pop-Tarts in the morning, but these are better for her. I got her strawberry and I got her wild berry acai. I got these plant-based protein bars to try. I'm really excited for these. Got these love corn snacks. I had to get some snacks because my kids love snacks. I love snacks, but these are healthy snacks. So these are.
The viewers weren't convinced and tried to correct her. I thought I was going to see proteins, fruits, and veggies. Organic doesn't equate to healthy. Hope this helps.
So excited. I got this big bag of marshmallow Fruity Pebbles. I got this box of Special K. I got this box of Trix. And I got this box of Fruit Spins. I got a box of Rice Krispie Treats. Got each of my kids one of these snack packs. I got this box of Cookie Crisp. I got 2 bags of these Halloween Reese's. I don't care, they just taste better. I got these Halloween Oreos. I got these Halloween Go-Go Squeezes. I got these pumpkin.
But days later, on the 13th of October 2025, she proudly spent around $600 on grocery shopping. Her haul painted a different picture, primarily junk food, pre-prepared meals and snacks with no healthy or nourishing options. Her healthy attempts were total scams, consisting of just bags of pre-made dinners loaded with fake ingredients and preservatives that are barely better than junk food. Not only was she feeding them unhealthy food, she was also giving them huge portions. So it's no surprise that people all over the internet started calling her out for awful parenting. People always say, it doesn't matter how much she gives them, it doesn't mean they eat it all. Now, not only is she saying they do eat every bit of the huge portion she gives, and they had seconds. Unreal. And to defend herself, she just posted a compilation of posts showcasing the times when she cooked healthy meals for her kids. But to make it even worse, she gets visibly annoyed when her kids ask for something different to eat.
2 pieces of cheese, please.
6-year-old's plate.
Mom, you didn't give me a pepperoni? You said...
And I'm giving her a piece of pepperoni with it because she's complaining to me.
Other than this, some of the people weren't happy with the conditions she cooked in, especially her kitchen counter and stove. Her kitchen counter was covered in a significant amount of grease. It's horrifying to look at, let alone to cook on. I don't know what's worse, the stove or the food. She planned to defend these new allegations by posting her routine cleanups, which only backfired because people were shocked to see the mess in the house. She had loads and loads of unclean dishes and food scattered all around her kitchen. On top of that, she has bugs in her utensils and all around the kitchen. Did anyone else see the bugs fly out of the pot when she lifted it up? Along with the bugs, she also had flies all around her food in the kitchen. Now it can only get this bad when the environment is really filthy. Even the fly trap she had in her kitchen depicts a horrific scene with a handful of flies attached to it. It took me so long to realize that she has a fly trap up in her kitchen and it's completely full. This is so disgusting, I can't. Things got worse when viewers zoomed in on her cleaning lives. Along with the flies, there were also maggots wriggling on forks piled from her dish pile.
Her house of horrors is connected. She is still unscared and speechless. The amount of seasoning and the blood still in the pork chop tray, and the 4 flies zooming around.
Tiny roaches were also caught on camera.
More roaches spotted in Donut Mom's cooking video. But it's edited by a hate page, right? Zoomed in and slowed down.
Viewers weren't surprised, and if they tried to call her out on her filthy mess, she simply blocked them. Haha, she blocked me and took off this TikTok because I told her she should clean up the dead roaches in her house before she tries to promote stuff. That doesn't surprise me. Both her and her house are absolutely filthy. She kept an explanation at hand to justify it, mostly saying it was mental health issues.
Take on my depression card. I have struggled with mental health.
She also started deleting videos with all the mess. According to her, anyone who talked about them was just making things up.
Remember this deleted video of the roach on her wall. Why did you delete it, Alex? So you can keep saying haters edited it. It's the lack of change and constantly denying the truth. Alex, your house is not normal. It is infected and filthy. She loves playing the victim, as if people are hating on her for...
But there were many people who had already compiled all the evidence against her. They saw through neglect and incompetence. What came afterwards wasn't something anyone expected, because her neglect extended beyond her kitchen, but also to other tiny living beings that lived with her. With her 3 children, she had 5 rabbits, 1 pet rat, and a dog. This might suggest that she was a nurturing or affectionate individual, but the reality was quite different. The animals in that house were equally suffering, existing in conditions that would lead anyone to doubt her genuine concern for living beings.
So I said, let's smoke 6 till the summer ends. Promise you that we quit by then. Couple half-broke kids, we called our friends, but we still bring our packs to every party, not just us, it's everybody.
In the middle of 2025, when she started posting her hooping videos, she recorded most of her videos in her own room. People started to notice the dirty conditions in which her pets were living.
Mom, aka Alex, posted a very concerning video, and we need to address this. Alex posted a video of her in her bedroom, and in her bedroom with her is her rabbit or her bunny, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Now, having pets is not the issue. The environment is the issue. There's literally bugs crawling all over Alex's bed, and what really got me is the rabbit or bunny droppings all over the bedroom that you...
On the 2nd of July, 2025, she posted this video to show the viewers that her house was not filthy, but people spotted the rabbit feces all over the floor, and she dared to call it normal, while her kids often walked around the house without wearing shoes. She exposed herself further during her well-known house tour, attempting to show that her home wasn't messy. Since she was deliberately showing her house, it was very likely that she cleaned it beforehand.
This is filthy. Because of a video someone edited about me. Because of a hate page that made videos about me. My house is normal. And I will show...
And according to her, the mess was just clutter, which was perfectly normal and fine.
The living room. A normal mess. I have dog toys and kids stuff right there. My kitchen. Clutter. That's it. Clutter. No, I don't have maggots. These are all clean dishes. These are the dirty dishes. Those are all clean dishes. These are all clean dishes. Clutter, not filth. Clutter. Clutter. Clutter.
Her daughter's room showed a disorganized view, and her other children's room wasn't a pretty sight either, just a pile of mess that covered every inch.
Room has toys in it. This is my youngest daughter's room. This is my 6-year-old's room. My 6-year-old's room. My 8-year-old's room.
Thank you, Mommy. Thank you.
My 8-year-old's room. Normal kid mess.
Her own room was awful as well, With her bunnies hopping and their poop scattered all around, it was really filthy. She even had the hay in their cages in the room with her, right next to her bed.
With my bunnies that you guys all complain about, and yes, they do poop on the floor. Yes, it gets cleaned up every single day. But I have a normal mess.
By mid-June last year, people had finally seen enough. They knew they had to do something.
5 days ago. Is that shirt where the animals go to pee? Like, what is going on actually? The state of her bedroom is just as horrific as the rest of the house. There's trash all over the place as well. Even her walls. Why is there random insulation just exposed like that? Like her whole family is just breathing in fiberglass every day. And the poop and a piece of toilet paper on that floor too. This is actually urgent and scary.
Okay, I once had a...
So on the 14th of June, 2025, a petition went live to remove Alex from TikTok. And it wasn't just empty noise. Nearly 2,800 people officially signed to make it happen. In addition to the unlivable state of her home, her treatment of her children raised concerns about child safety. She had a recorded history of child neglect. All of her children were suffering equally. But even all of this backlash did not stop Alex from revealing her true colors. Alex had 3 children, a boy who was 9 years old and 2 girls who are 6 and 3 years old. She admitted to the idea of leaving her daughters with their brother Jace back in early 2024. Jace was barely 7 at the time.
My 5-year-old, because he's not quite yet old enough to watch his younger sisters, even though he always asks.
Girl, he is not even old enough to watch him.
Jace is in the hospital. They're not sure what's wrong, so I'm about to drive an hour and a half one way to his dad's whenever I get a jump to see him. They think he may be diabetic. These were alarming revelations of Alex telling her friend that her son may have diabetes. It's not surprising given the type of food she fed them. As one thing led to another, it was discovered that back in early July 2024, her toddler was seen walking all alone at night in their neighborhood. Call the police. A girl living in the same neighborhood called the police while posting it on Facebook. Alex responded to her and made it sound like it was her daughter's fault, which was clearly not the case because she was just a small child. It later turned out that she was actually direct messaging this girl behind the curtains. While being respectful, she pleaded with her to delete the posts against her. On the other hand, her boyfriend Taylor also sent her a direct message. His tone was far from respectful. He basically threatened and insulted her, the same person who basically rescued the child. And seeing this and the other comments made on her video, I know this is you. That's straight dirty considering you don't even know her as a person. If you have so much time on your hands to pull this crap, then you really either need to spend more time with your kids or get a hobby. Hope you have better luck being a more decent human being in the future. For now, though, these will be saved since the whole Reddit page is based on outlandish claims, false accusations, and slander. Tearing down a mom you've never met in person because of what you see on social media is completely wild to me. Do not ever contact me or her again. And if you continue to do this BS, I'll make sure it's posted in the neighborhood page so everyone knows what kind of person you are. I'll definitely be letting our mutual friends know also. Even years ago, this poor little girl is overweight, filthy, and holding on to cheese puffs. Internet users seem to be worried about their children. Her daughters were also the victims of poor food choices like their brother. They were concerned that this would lead to her children having conditions that would impact their whole lives. On the 15th of January 2025, her eldest daughter starred in a cookie commercial and appears to struggle with being overweight. Alex herself was struggling with her health and claimed that she was trying to lose weight and live a healthy lifestyle.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn. I have some Girl Scout cookies. Would you like to buy some cookies? The link is above the video. Each box is $5 or $6. That's it. If you want to buy cookies, it's above my name, the purple shopping cart. Thank you. I love you guys, and I hope you buy cookies. You can make money for the Girl Scouts. Okay, bye.
On the 14th of July 2025, she started a 30-day hoop challenge. It looked like she cared for her children and wanted to change for them.
I'm joining the 30-day infinity.
But the internet knew the truth. She hates the 6-year-old, I'm convinced. She ignores her all the time. The little girl asked Alex to curl her hair and she wouldn't. I always hear the kids saying, "Oh, that's not fair." She always gets told no. I hate Alex, not because she's fat or ugly, but because she is a disgusting human being. Viewers could easily see how she treated her children and expressed that she is not a suitable parent. In August 2025, While she was promoting a lip remover, her daughter approached her with a plea. The child's complaint was simple. She was having a hard time sleeping. But what happened next showed something more sinister about how Alex dealt with her kid's basic needs.
You won't let me.
When did I say you could sleep in the living room?
It's hot in my room. I'm always hot in my room when I sleep in it.
I didn't say you could sleep in the living room.
I didn't know sleep in the living room, but it's hot in my room. I'm gonna be hot.
Alex responded to her in an immediate and cold manner. She just rolled her eyes and totally ignored her daughter's sad voice and went back to her promotion.
I'm hot. I can take my night in my room.
Okay. I got a lint remover.
You got one. Why did you get another one? Dad?
She even lashed out at her live viewers for confronting her.
Me, she has her own bedroom. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
It's hot in my room.
Even her daughter knew that her mother would not consider her discomfort. It was really sad to watch how Alex was ignoring her daughter's pleas like they were an annoying distraction from her TikTok and shopping addiction.
You don't have to sleep in here.
Yeah, but you won't let me sleep in there. And it's hot in
In
my
where?
What?
Sleep in where?
In your room?
No, you're not sleeping in my room.
I know. You never let me.
No, I don't.
And it's hot in my room. That's why I always have to sleep in here.
See, now this to me.
People on the internet came forward with more examples of her rude behavior towards her daughters.
My daughter put stickers on my face and my arms. My daughter put stickers on my face and my arm.
This bad behavior was not limited to her. Her baby daddy, the father of her two oldest children, was just as wicked as she was. He lived with them, did nothing to help the family, and was violent and abusive. It was clear that he wasn't doing anything but yelling and ordering everyone around.
Why is there no seasoning?
There is.
Where?
On the chicken.
I don't see enough seasoning in the chicken.
He justified his bad behavior, including hitting them, and casually referred to it as discipline. Around the end of July 2025, while she was doing the Infinity Hoop Challenge, she posted this video in which Taylor could be seen holding a gun. Now, at this point, it wasn't just a case of child neglect. It had become a case of child endangerment.
With a pew pew.
No, you can't have it. This is me. Mine. Hers, yes.
What in the actual heck? Why is he holding it like that? They have small children in the house. What the is going on in that house? Her walls are full of patches. What are they doing in that room that's causing this many holes in the walls?
That's true. Why are there so many holes in the...
And his response reeked of pure ignorance. They deleted the video afterwards. Never seen a gun before? We've had an attempted break-in and my truck broke into. All guns are kept out of reach, and all 3 kids know not to touch them. But what came next was a series of exposed, horrific truths about her and her boyfriend's treatment of their children. A friend of Alex exposed her relationship dynamic by sharing screenshots of their chats. Jace, her son, was trying everything to avoid living with him after their breakup. He tried to and threw stuff at the police. He said he didn't want to be alive anymore on the way to his dad's last night. And that's just the short end of it. I'm not telling anyone but you. But I fought tooth and nail with his dad last night. Jace threw stuff at police. I'm so stressed and tired and sick. The Internet Archives came forward with more evidence of the abuse of their children. Before Alex got back together with Taylor, she posted about how her son threatened to sell solely because he doesn't want to go to Taylor's house. People were, of course, concerned. But after all this and much more, Alex did nothing. She got back together with Taylor and started living with him once again. People started to question her relationships, so she came to clarify with this post on the 21st of October 2025. Y'all stay so loud and wrong. One thing you cannot say about me is that I jump from relationship to relationship. I was with Taylor for 5 years, James for 4, and now I've been back with Taylor for a year and counting. There's plenty of reasons to be an ass to me. Pick one that's factually correct. I've been with 2 guys in 11 years, by the way. Her relationships were also very messy. She had 2 boyfriends, Taylor and James. Speaking of Alex's past relationships, back in early 2024 when she was with James, she was in a throuple relationship with him and his girlfriend, Danny. Allegedly, none of them worked and instead lived off of government assistance.
Girlfriend and boyfriend for Valentine's Day.
Yes, there were users that were shocked Alex had 1 partner, let alone 2.
Hi.
Someone said there was no way I had a boyfriend. I have a boyfriend and a
Oh, are
girlfriend.
you jealous because you can't pull two at the same time?
However,
Many people were concerned about the dynamic of their relationship, but Alex reassured everyone. Eventually, both Alex and James broke up with Danny.
Girlfriend, our now girlfriend, were just talking. They weren't together, and they didn't start talking until me and him broke up for like the day. He didn't cheat on me or anything like that with her.
and that
After the breakup, Danny's friend came to expose her and both of her boyfriends. All of them were misfits to be called parents.
A friend of Danny's posted allegations.
Later, Alex came forward to address the situation and tried to tell people that her kids are still okay, but that wasn't the situation.
With that being said, a lot of people have been asking, am I still with Dee? Am I still with James? And James and I are no longer with Dee. And I'm not going to talk bad about her. We are still friends with her, and our kids still have something to do with her because kids don't understand breakups. They don't understand why someone moves out, someone's not with us anymore. So our kids still talk to her. Our son still plays Fortnite with her. So I'm not going to talk.
Things took a whole different direction when a famous TikTok creator, Maria Monet, better known as Mama Drama, stepped in. She was more than an influencer posting clips for clicks. She managed one of the largest parenting drama communities online, including the Mama Drama Facebook group, where users broke down chaotic parenting scenarios and mom influencer controversies. She got together with Alex on October 23, 2025, and asked her direct questions about what was going on in her house. What started as dramatic content quickly turned distressing, as each new answer revealed each layer of how horrible things truly were.
I mean,
my name is Alex. I'm the donut mom. That's what everyone calls me. I'm the lazy mom of 3. I'm also known as.
During the interview, Alex shared her living room. It was cluttered with Amazon packages and toys. The couch was a complete mess, stacked with shoes and random stuff with no room left to sit.
Living room.
Okay. This is your authentic living room.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I didn't clean it all today. I wanted you to see what it looks like on a daily basis.
Yeah, no.
She admitted she had been receiving 40 packages a week from the TikTok shop, which clarified the ongoing clutter, but she also said the shopping was making life harder for her kids.
Is those Amazon packages and toys?
Yep. Toys, packages.
The kitchen appeared to be very messy with food scattered all over, which wasn't something new.
And that's my kitchen.
So this is the famous, everybody, this is the famous.
Her counter was stacked with Cheeto mac and cheese, Tupperware, and assorted snacks that she insisted were all food, not waste.
We'll be gone because it's
Is
like,
that Cheeto mac and cheese?
Yes.
I have never seen nothing like that. That's crazy. That's terrible, but yeah, wow. Didn't know that
This
even
is
existed.
all food. This is just all food that we get, and I don't have anywhere to put it right now, so I just put it on the counter.
So your cabinets and stuff, they are full, so you just don't have anywhere else to.
The cabinets were topped with loads of dishes, making it impossible for her to arrange anything in an orderly manner.
Lots of Tupperware, okay.
It's like all dishes. I have way too many dishes.
When she turned her phone camera to the sink, it showed a more shocking scene. It carried 2 days' worth of dirty dishes piled up, mostly from cooking spaghetti and other meals.
And I have dirty dishes, of course.
Can I see the dirty dishes real quick? I just want to. All right. How many days worth of dishes is that?
2.
She said that no one helps her out with the house chores, and they're just okay with living like this.
Nobody in the house helps you? Like if they see there's a bunch of dishes, no one offers to do them?
No, not really. My boyfriend will every once in a while load the dishwasher, but most.
She brings up her mental health again, saying it leaves her with zero motivation. She planned to clean that day, but decided not to, because she wanted the interview to show the reality.
Yeah, I have several diagnosed mental health issues that I'm on medication for. I'm still trying to get the right medication for it.
Okay.
But I have depression, I have OCD, ADD, and PTSD.
She said it was usually even worse, but the microwave was much dirtier because it had 4 days' worth of sauce spilled on it.
Okay.
And what's that in there?
Just like, I guess sauce or something that got...
The stove was no better than the microwave, with 4 days of buildup.
Like I said, the stove has to be cleaned. But...
Oh, wow. Okay, let me see the stove. Okay, now this is, how much buildup? How much buildup is this?
She actually revealed that it gets worse than that, and she continues to cook on it.
Usually it's actually worse than this. Oh, I'm spilling water. So.
Oh, you said usually it's worse than that?
Yeah, usually it's worse.
Okay. Did we see the oven?
Yeah.
Okay. And when's the last time that was cleaned?
Like 3 weeks ago.
Okay, 3.
And the oven hasn't been cleaned for almost a month.
It's worse.
Okay.
She showed her own bedroom, which she shared with her bunnies once again. The floor was a lively mix of hay, pellets, and poop scattered all over, while 5 bunnies roamed freely.
That's my bunny's hay, my bunny's pellets.
Okay, so you have your bunnies like hay and pellets in your room where you sleep.
Yeah, the bunnies are...
Bunnies?
Yeah. Are they under the bed,
Wait,
Jace?
this is your room where you sleep?
Yeah.
And that's your bureau. And so the bunnies are in the room where you sleep.
Mariah was extremely shocked to see the condition of the room, and the bunnies weren't potty trained.
Are they, well, obviously they're not trained because they poop everywhere. Okay, so this is the room and the bunnies.
They do have litter boxes, but unfortunately we're...
She repeatedly says that she cleans their cage every day, but in her mind even saying that out loud feels like admitting she's not taking care of her home or her kids.
The bunny's cage looks more organized than the rest of the house, so shout out to the bunnies.
Oh yeah, we take care of our animals. Their cage gets cleaned every day. So at the end of every day, I clean their cage.
Okay, that's really good. At least you cleaned the animal's cage.
Then she showed the bathroom, and the mess there took it to another level. The sink was filthy, and the bathtub was filled with dirty water.
Oh, wow. So, okay, it's looking kind of swampy, girl. Not gonna lie. When's the last time the water was taken out of there?
This was actually just last night. I just didn't dump it.
Okay. Can I ask why you didn't dump it, or did it just stress you out to like dump it?
It drains really.
The toilet seat was an unpleasant sight, with a thick ring around the bowl and one side covered in dirt.
I just want to see the sides. Let's see. Okay. All right.
I clean the toilet pretty frequently. So.
Do you ever clean the side, like right there where all that?
This side's harder to get to because it's like very narrow. Okay. So I clean that one about once a month, but I clean this side every...
The shower was possibly in the best condition, still not clean enough.
And you don't have a shower, just a bathtub?
No, we have a shower.
Oh, okay. Can I look in the shower?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It has black. Okay.
Then the tone shifted from shocking to genuinely worrying. Her 6-year-old daughter, Brooklyn, made an allegation of domestic violence, her own child accusing her of abuse.
I was joking.
Instantly, Alex tried to calm the situation by giving excuses about her daughter's lying habit. But the more she tried to turn it off, the more unsettling it became to watch.
Don't even. Do not come up here and lie about that. That's not even funny. It's not a funny joke. You don't lie.
Mariah confronted her straight away, but she shifted all the blame to her daughter.
Nah, he said that as soon as the cameras started rolling. Man, kids say the darndest thing. He really gonna say you slapped him in his face?
Yeah, that's my 6-year-old. She has a lying thing.
But the kid could be heard clearly shouting and miserable after being blamed like this.
Been doing recently.
People on the internet were extremely concerned about the situation. I'm sorry, but to put the blame on a child that could very well be telling the honest truth about what happened in that house is asinine. She tried to cover the truth by saying that she isn't physically abusive, but the truth was there. Her daughter said that she hit her not once, but twice.
Anything you want to clarify so that, like, about what just happened?
I don't hit my daughter.
Yeah.
I know that. Excuse me? If you don't stop telling people that.
Did she just say, yes, you do? When
Yes.
Jeez, Jesus.
That is not funny, Brooklyn. Do you understand the repercussions that has on me?
That is not something to joke about. You're not.
Shortly after the interview, she uploads a video which she later deletes, claiming that it was just a misunderstanding and people will spin it against her. But it was clear that all she was worried about was her online presence.
I'm so upset that she came on live and lied like that. And the fact that everyone's going to spin that, she literally said afterwards that it was a joke. But everyone's gonna take that part out of the clip and make it to where I look like a monster. But I'll clarify it tomorrow during the interview, don't worry.
I heard she hit her 6-year-old daughter. She got outraged and panicked because she knew is wrong, but she doesn't give a about her daughter. She called her a liar. I hope somebody calls the CPS on her and takes her daughter and other kids away from her. She shouldn't have kids. She hates her kids so much. You can see pure hate eyes. I unfollowed her months ago. Edit. Kids never lie. They always tell the truth. Please post that story, please. I have never heard of that. Please send documentation to police. I feel that we've only scratched the surface of this nightmare. Please, we need substantive proof of abuse. Please send to police and CPS. Thank you. People were trying to report her to CPS, but no one could get a response. And this is where her mom enters the picture. She steps in to defend her daughter, saying her granddaughter has a problem with lying and that she's in therapy. The fact that 2 of her kids were already in therapy at such a young age says a lot about what life at home might have been like. Soon after, Mariah Monet reached out again for a follow-up interview on October 25th, 2025, specifically to question her about her child. She had no idea what was about to unfold.
Last night, I was not expecting Donut Mom's daughter to come on and say that her mom slaps her in the face. Truthfully, I just wanted to see a house tour and her cooking before she comes on my stage tonight in my Discord.
Shockingly, this stress on the face is very scary because it clearly shows that she's been hit before.
So my question to you, right, is are you going to sit on the stage and tell me again that your daughter was lying in the live last night?
Yes, I am. I have never hit her in her face.
On top of that, she called spanking and popping like a softer label to make it sound less serious.
Have you hit her at all?
I have popped her hand. I have popped her butt. I have never hit her in her face.
So you've given her a spanking and you have hit her hand?
Yes.
She revealed that she'd turned to corporal punishment when she was only 3, which is really unacceptable and just sad.
What led you to giving her a spanking?
The only time I have ever popped her hand, or, oh, you mean like a spanking on the butt?
Yeah, like what? Yeah, yes.
I don't remember. That was when she was like 3. I've only ever gave her a pop or a spanking for biting something physical, something that I don't feel time out.
She also let other people tell her how to parent her own child, and she allegedly stopped them, saying she wanted to switch to a gentle parenting approach.
Okay. I tried to stop and do the gentle parenting thing, and then everybody told me that I was letting her walk all over me. I did the gentle parenting thing for 2 years.
So what do you consider, what's your version of gentle parenting? What do you consider that to be?
Time out, taking things away. I stopped popping them completely. In fact, my 3-year-old has been popped maybe once on her hand. I've never popped her butt. I don't pop for just everything. I only do it for physical things.
Mariah kept confronting her, and the questions left her speechless, because deep down she knew it was wrong. This wasn't discipline, it wasn't teaching anything positive, yet it kept happening anyway. But what she didn't realize was that these interviews would end up exposing a trail of more lies.
She hits her sister, she's getting back.
Right.
Okay. Do you honestly think that you can teach a child not to hit someone by hitting them?
No.
Okay, so you acknowledge that that's not a valid way to teach her to stop people. Now, why, when she hits her siblings, what is she telling you as to why she hit them?
Because they took something from her. or
Okay.
she's mad at them.
Okay. And so then your response is, okay, how do you like it when I hit you too?
I guess showing her. I don't know.
Because what you
But before that, on the 28th of October 2025, she came to her defense with a picture of herself on a hospital bed. She called out the haters and the people who questioned her and her children's well-being. Let's get one thing straight. I gave birth to 3 children, me, myself, and I. I went through hell and back to get these kids here. I will not be addressing allegations regarding my children. I and my children and those around me know the truth, and that's all that matters. Until you know the entire story, keep your opinions and accusations to yourself, and that's all I will say on the matter. I'm a damn good mother who'd do anything for her children, and unless you know my heart, you can't say anything but, leave me, my family, and my children alone. Me being a content creator entitles you to know 0% about my life. Following this, Mama Drama posts another update on the same day, once again exposing her. And in the last interview, another detail came out that made it all feel even more disturbing. She was supposedly dating James and Danny, yet Taylor, her first boyfriend and the father of her 2 kids, was also living under the same roof.
Okay, so Taylor is your current boyfriend.
Yes.
Okay. So what is this situation with outside of some door?
So me, James, and Dana were in the bedroom one night, and
Okay, James and Dana. Okay,
One night, Taylor was outside the living room while Danny and James were in the bedroom having private time. And disgustingly enough, Taylor was allegedly pleasuring himself while sitting on the sofa.
and who you're with now, who was in front of the door, and Dana and the other dude, that was the throuple people, correct?
oh yeah, I didn't mean.
Mariah was speechless upon hearing such graphic details. Alex had 3 children who slept in the same house.
Taylor's outside the door?
Yes, we didn't know he was outside the door, until we went, my ex went to step outside of the door and stepped in a pile of jizz.
On top of that, Alex attempted to dismiss the situation as if it were something truly amusing.
Whoa. Okay. Give me a second.
She sounded confident that they never saw it. But if a kid is waking up from nightmares or going to the bathroom at night, they shouldn't be exposed to any of this in the first place.
Did the front of our bedroom door. But there was no way the kids could have seen it because they were all asleep. This was at like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. No, the kids could not have seen it. No.
She once again made the situation about herself and the messy relationships without even caring about the well-being of her kids. While trying to calm the situation, she exposed herself once again, doing more harm than good.
When I joined in the relationship, he wasn't interested in Dana. That does sound familiar because they both told me that Taylor was interested in Dana. But Taylor didn't even like Dana and told me not to do the throuple. And that I would regret it. And yeah.
In another of Mariah's interview snippets, she revealed yet another troubling detail. Taylor accused her of sexually assaulting her daughter. He also submitted a complaint regarding this matter to Child Protective Services.
Actually publicly said that he accused me of this. He accused me of assaulting my daughter.
This is disturbing to hear and even worse to imagine.
This man accused you of your daughter to be petty and you are with him now?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you really need therapy.
The details she gave were really horrific and graphic.
Exactly did he say to them?
That our then 3-year-old went to his house for a visit and made a motion with his fingers and said that I did that to Brooklyn, like opening her.
Yet she casually forgave him simply because he said he was sorry.
How the can you forgive someone for accusing you of? Like, what goes through your mind after that? Like, I need to know when this happened, what was going through your mind, and how do you get to the level of forgiving him to be with him again? Because that's such a serious accusation.
He apologized.
Girl, he said, I'm sorry?
And continued living as if nothing had happened. Alex's next revelation was both horrifying and heartbreaking. Thinking about how a 3-year-old child could go through this is extremely gut-wrenching.
What came of those allegations with CPS? Like, what ended up happening?
They tested her for and found nothing.
Even her son was not safe from all this. He also got involved in it in all the wrong ways.
I asked my son if I had ever done anything to his sister. He said no. They found absolutely zero proof that I had ever done anything like that because I never have and never would. And I actually didn't forgive him for a long time. I wouldn't even talk to him unless it was about the kids because I said, you should know better than that to ever accuse me of something.
And when you think things cannot get worse, they do get worse. Both parents were blaming and doubting each other just to save themselves. A child endures all this just to prove she was never released by her own mother, which is some next level demonic thing.
And for a while there, I actually thought maybe he was doing something because, you know, if you accuse someone of something, most of the time you're doing it. But I mean, they tested her, so obviously she had never been from either side, so.
People were furious at them and really concerned about the kids. How would a 3-year-old even know how to say that? Like 3-year-olds don't just have knowledge of that? Just because the etiquette didn't show anything doesn't mean the child wasn't fondled. They were making every effort to understand the situation surrounding her. Even Mariah, who was utterly shocked, could see that Alex wasn't mentally well. Yeah, some clips I can't post, but I think she is layered and someone who has been through a lot and accustomed to people treating her a certain way. Later, it was revealed that CPS was indeed involved, and the custody of her kids remained with her. After getting her kids back on the 10th of December 2025, Alex shared another alarming TikTok, encouraging her daughter to say bad words.
For this challenge, okay? Mommy's gonna walk out of the room, and you can say whatever cuss words you want, any bad words you want that mommy doesn't let you say, okay? Any bad words, and when I'm gonna come back in when you're done, okay? You're not gonna get in trouble. You can say whatever bad words.
She did not limit this to her daughter only. She involved her son as well.
All right, we're gonna play a game, okay?
What?
We're gonna play a game, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so you know all the bad words that mommy doesn't let you say?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna walk out. Okay, and when I walk out, you can say whatever bad words you want to say. Okay?
Okay.
Any bad words, and you won't get in trouble for it.
Ooh.
That child is only 6? This is an awful game to play with kids. Wow, he knows a lot of those bad words. Some were surprised at the son's words, but most of them weren't. Considering all the nasty stuff they've been through, they were the victims in that house. After everything surfaced, Alex shared a post on December 21st, 2025 defending herself. Critics felt she was using mental health as a shield for her behavior. For the people who said depression is in your head, if I could control it, I would. Trust and yes, I'm in therapy and on medication. I'm working on it. It's a process. The mental health card has been activated. Now you can't criticize her for the filth, laziness, and child abuse because she has depression. But the internet knew very well how manipulative the situation could be. She framed it as pretty straightforward. She'd been facing challenges, she was on medication, and the online world was harsh toward her as a mom trying to cope. And for a while it worked. Some people actually bought it and tried to suggest some of her things to take off some of her burden. If she's making all this cash, she needs to stop wasting it on junk and hire someone to come in and help her. There are people out there who will help you organize and purge. Many even approach it from a mental health perspective. If she truly can't help this, she needs professional help. She brought up her mental health again on January 15th, 2026. And despite everything that had come out, she still had supporters. If y'all hate her so much, go follow and engage with people you do like. It don't cost anything to be nice or just be quiet. Y'all don't need to bully. Exactly. Right. It sucks that the comment section of this post is rude. I hate social media sometimes. Everyone saying mean things does not realize how much can impact someone. Just like you, she's a human with feelings. You don't have to like her, just respect the fact she's a person who is trying her best to make content for people who enjoy videos like that. Least you could do is scroll off if you don't have anything good to say. With all respect, I wish you the best and wish your mental health improves. Agreed. But many people who see through her and her troublesome existence remain unconvinced. Ah, boo-hoo, what a weirdo pedo protector. Let's not forget her and her ex accused each other of essaying their daughter. Not only that when she was in a poly relationship, she was effing and she let her other dirt guy jack it outside their room in the hallway where children can walk by and let him go on the floor where he left it, where their children could have stepped in it. Alex Sabal kept posting on TikTok even months after investigations, interviews, and CPS involvement. People are still hoping that some form of authority keeps its eyes on both Alex and Taylor.
I did a little bit of window shopping that turned into actual shopping on Temu. Oh, I do remember what I got. Okay, so I got a bowl set with 4 bowls. Pink bowl set, $0. Oh, stop. I remember it now. I got this mirror.
The platform that allowed her to neglect her responsibilities didn't stop her from making money, and the algorithm that rewarded dysfunction continued to provide her with views and income.
I got my monthly Thrive box, so let's see what I got. Ordering from Thrive.
She still films every day. She posts about her kids suffering, and she still makes thousands of dollars while her kids languish in filth and hunger.
All right, let's try this one. Let's see how my first 6 months will be. What? New York again, maybe? I don't know what that is.
It's brutally evident that the more people called her out, the more views her videos got, and the more money TikTok paid her to keep making them. Nothing changed for her, except for the fact that she's single once again. But people do know that she'll get back together with her boyfriend. This happens a lot with her and him. They'll probably be back together. Give it time. She has changed nothing. The food, the house, and how she feels about her kids all remain the same. Alex Sabal continues to be one careless mother, and the internet's algorithms continue to turn a family's worst moments into content and keep rewarding it. The audience enjoys the mayhem, even as the kids at the center remain trapped.
We got McDonald's. My girls got Happy Meals. Do you guys want it in your box or a plate? Box?
Mommy.
Okay.
Mommy, too.
My 3-year-old got nuggets, fries, but they're in the box, apples, and a toy. Here you go, baby.
I want that.
This is Kira Sivertson, and she's one of the most controversial figures to ever come out of family YouTube. And no, she did not get there by accident. For those who don't know, Kira is a mother of 4 turned 5, a former teen parent turned influencer, later defined by betrayal, and a woman whose entire adult life is quite literally unfolded in front of the camera. Her story is messy, uncomfortable, and at times genuinely hard to watch. First off, she built a multi-million view family channel on the image of young love and sacrifice, only to later sit beside the father of her 4 children smiling as she calmly announced that she was the one ending their relationship. The same woman who admitted on camera to getting close to another man while still insisting nothing inappropriate happened. The same woman who started a graphic podcast with her best friend, hired that friend's fiancé to work behind the scenes, and then later married him herself. Yes, that fiancé, the nanny's fiancé, the best friend's partner. It's also confusing. The worst part is that she would go on to deny wrongdoing, then quietly change timelines. She would say she needed to be alone, then never actually be alone. Say another pregnancy could be dangerous, which led to her husband getting a vasectomy, then celebrate a new one anyway with a different man. She would say she values privacy, then continue to overshare every detail of everyone else's life except when it implicates her. But the most disturbing part is not the alleged betrayal or the relationship fallout, it's the pattern in which other people are left holding the damage. A former friend who disappeared for years before returning with a public accusation, and a fundraiser to cover up tattoos tied to that friendship. A former partner who spirals quietly before rebuilding his life off camera, and children who grew up as content before they were old enough to understand what that meant. This is a story about what happens when your entire identity is built online, and the truth starts slipping through the edits. Kira Sivertson and Oscar Morales met as high school sweethearts, teenagers navigating first love before adulthood ever really began. Their relationship formed long before careers, stability, or independence. And by 2015, they were already facing life-altering decisions together. That same year, Kira became pregnant as a teenager. And instead of stepping away from the spotlight, the couple made a choice that would define the rest of their lives. They decided to document their experience publicly, turning a deeply personal situation into content. Out of that decision came the launch of the OK Baby YouTube channel in 2015, a platform built around teen pregnancy and young parenthood. The name itself was a combination of their initials. O as in Oscar, K as in Kira. Together, OK Baby. And at the center of it all were the two of them, documenting their lives with their kids for the world to watch. All the videos on the channel seemed to be deleted, but at the time of the channel's creation, the appeal was immediate. Many were drawn to the vulnerability of two teenagers trying to raise a child with limited money, limited support, and no real roadmap. Their videos leaned heavily on financial stress, emotional exhaustion, and the idea that they were just figuring things out as they went. That perceived authenticity is what fueled their rapid growth. Within a year, the channel was no longer a side project or a digital diary. It became their primary source of income. As more children entered the picture and views continued to climb, the line between documenting life and living for content began to blur.
Guys, Kira thinks she's pregnant, so we're about to take a little pregnancy test.
As the channel gained momentum, Kira and Oscar's personal lives accelerated alongside their online growth. Over the next several years, the couple welcomed 4 children, and each pregnancy, birth, and milestone was shared publicly. Viewers did not just hear about the family expanding, they watched it happen in real time. Hospital visits, newborn routines, sleep deprivation, financial stress, and relationship strain all became recurring elements of the channel's narrative. What began as a documentation of teen parenthood gradually transformed into a full-scale family chronicle, with the children at the center of nearly every upload. By this point, OK Baby was no longer a small YouTube diary. The channel ballooned to roughly 1.4 million subscribers, where it sits at now, each individual video pulling in millions of views. Their relationship, their home, and especially their children were now part of a monetized ecosystem that rewarded oversharing and punished silence. As the years went on, daily filming became normalized. Cameras were present during emotional moments, discipline, celebration, and breakdowns. The children were not occasional appearances, they were the core of the brand. Thumbnails, titles, and storylines increasingly revolved around them, turning childhood into content and family life into a product. The audience grew attached to the kids, watched them age, and felt invested in their development, while Kira and Oscar leaned further into the format that sustained their income and public relevance. As would become clear later, this was the moment when quiet changes behind the scenes started to take shape. Nothing looked dramatic on the surface, but control within the channel was beginning to shift. As the brand grew, Kira took on more influence over how stories were told. She guided the tone, set the direction of conversations, and increasingly determined how moments were framed, making her perspective the dominant one. Medical concerns added another layer of issues. After 4 pregnancies delivered via C-section, Kira publicly stated that doctors had warned her against carrying more children due to serious health risks.
Even if I wanted to have another one, it's not about me wanting to, it's about that I really just can't have another one. And I have accepted it because that it is what it is, and I don't want to put my life at risk because I do have 4 other children that I need to be here for.
The message was clear. Another pregnancy could be dangerous, potentially life-threatening. Kira reinforced clearly that her doctor had advised she should not have more children, and that she had come to terms with that reality. She emphasized the physical toll of repeated surgeries and the responsibility she had to remain healthy for the 4 children she already had.
Are you serious about considering adoption? I definitely think we are happy with our 4 children. I feel very lucky to have the 4 that I have. I am sad I cannot have any more babies, but I definitely don't plan on having more babies in any way.
In response to this, Oscar underwent a vasectomy at just 24 years old. At the time, these statements and decisions aligned with the narrative of mutual decision-making and long-term planning. In hindsight, they also marked a period where irreversible choices were made inside a relationship that was already under internal pressure. Not long after, Hannah Hawkard entered Kira's life. This was during a period when the OK Baby household was already stretched thin. Initially hired as a nanny, Hannah quickly became more than childcare support. She was in close age to Kira, so she blended easily into the household and soon transitioned into Kira's inner circle.
They came for game night. Who's excited? Me. Whoa. What was that? I need everybody to redo that. Game night. I'm excited.
What started as a professional arrangement evolved into a personal bond, with Hannah frequently present in daily life, vlogs, and off-camera routines. Over time, she was no longer framed as staff, but as Kira's closest friend. At the same time, Hannah was in a long-term relationship of her own.
Well, you guys haven't tried it yet, but they're waiting in line. They're being polite.
She was engaged to Preston Smith, her high school sweetheart, and according to records later discussed online, there were indications that they may have already been legally married, despite presenting publicly as only engaged. Through Hannah, Preston became a regular presence around Kira and Oscar, folding into their social world with ease. The four of them began spending a significant amount of time together. Game nights became routine, vacations were shared, and casual hangouts were filmed and uploaded as part of the channel's content. Viewers saw the couples interacting as a tight unit, joking, cooking, celebrating, and relaxing together.
Check out who's with us. What's up, dude? Give me some. Give me some. Hannah, what's up? Oh, you got the boots too. Yo!
She has them, and so like when she dyed her hair red, I wanted to dye my hair red, and then...
At the time, there was nothing presented to suggest instability or inappropriate overlap between the friends. Everything appeared friendly, familiar, and normalized through repetition. That all continued to deepen in 2021 when Kira and Hannah launched a joint podcast titled Beneath the Sheets. The show was clearly framed as a space for open conversations about adult relationships, intimacy, and topics that went far beyond what was typically discussed on the family vlog. The branding leaned into oversharing, positioning discomfort as honesty. Behind the scenes, Preston took on a formal role in the project. He was hired as the podcast's audio engineer and technical support, which meant he was frequently present during recordings, planning sessions, and production work. His involvement was no longer social alone. The lines blurred further when Oscar and Preston were brought on as podcast guests. Episodes featuring all four normalized a level of intimacy that many viewers later revisited with unease.
Cute. Okay, maybe on YouTube, Oscar Morales.
Yep.
This is Preston.
Just Preston.
Preston, Hannah, you're supposed to give his introduction. I'm waiting for you.
I'm waiting for yours.
He's the behind the
This
scenes
is
man.
my not baby daddy because apparently we have some like
baby
issues
daddy.
that he doesn't want to be a baby daddy. I don't know. We're figuring it out. We've been here. He's our audio tech.
He's the one who
guy.
makes it come to life because we can sit here and talk, but it doesn't become anything without this guy.
Without that guy.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I apologize for everything that fucking happened in season 1. That was a show, and we were just getting off the ground, so I apologize. I really do.
Oh, wait, are you talking about season 1?
Yes, I'm talking about season 1.
yeah.
I said season 1.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Over the laughing over here.
Hey, did you put your hearing aids in before we started?
I forgot. Should we stop and go grab them?
Maybe.
Okay, anyways, you guys, this season is going to be fun because we have guests. And so we have juicier, we're bringing back topics from season 1 that were like kind of.
As the podcast progressed, discussions involved topics like non-traditional relationship structures and group intimacy, presented casually and without clear limits. At the time, these conversations were framed as purely conversational. In hindsight, they would be seen as early indicators of collapsing boundaries long before the fallout became public. While all of these were going on in their lives, they felt normal, wholesome even. As far as everyone was concerned, OK Baby had officially become a full-on family channel. Oscar and Kira, the kids, the house, the routines. It now felt locked in. But Kira didn't just want to play house anymore. Kira wanted more.
What I'm trying to say is, we already have our life together. We already own a house together. We have all this commitment together. We have kids together, you know what I mean? What is the point of having a piece of paper tell us that we're married?
We want to
gonna do
celebrate our love.
Getting financially stable is more important than a ceremony.
And I agree. However, I do not want to be engaged for 5-10 years. There's no way I will be.
Sucks to
So,
suck.
No,
I didn't want to move into this
it
house.
sucks for you because if I'm not married in 5 years, my booty is out of here.
Oh, don't threaten me with a good time, babe.
I will go find myself somebody who wants to marry me today.
You promise?
Baby, that was not nice. That was mean. I didn't like that. I would never leave, but I'm not going to be engaged for 5 to 10 years.
I know.
She framed it as a joke, but nobody really thought that sounded like a joke. She basically told him that if he wasn't going to propose, she was ready to walk away and be with someone else who would. And Oscar clearly took that seriously, because by late 2018, he popped the question.
Everything I put you through. But Kira, you are the love of my life. Oops. You are the love of my life. And I want you by my side forever.
And you would think after this, Oscar, Kira, and their little babies lived happily ever after, right? Yeah, not exactly. Because on January 7th, 2022, right at the start of the new year, OK Baby uploaded a video titled, "We Broke Up." And when you eventually watch the video, you'll see that this title wasn't just clickbait. What made it even more shocking was the timing. They'd been pretty quiet for a while, so people assumed that they were just spending time together as a family. Everything seemed calm, stable. And then, boom, this video drops, and when you actually watch it, something feels off almost immediately.
To get on camera and act like nothing is going on in the back. But at the same time, it's also hard to get on camera and say anything, because what if we end up being fine and then like we just shared all that and then it just seems rocky and trashy. So it's just hard to know in that situation from a content point of view what to do, and so we made the decision just to kind of not do anything.
At first glance, this video is supposed to be them explaining their breakup together, but one thing you'll notice for the most part is that Kira is doing most of the talking. And it's not just that. There are moments where Oscar is clearly about to speak and she cuts in or talks over him like he's not even there. Now, it's true that everyone handles breakups differently. Some people joke, some people shut down, some people over-explain. But Kira doesn't just seem calm in this video, she seems almost excited. She's smiling. She even teases Oscar about the breakup. And the whole tone just feels off, especially considering what this conversation is supposed to be about.
Are you gonna cry?
No.
I might. I'm just kidding.
Oscar looked genuinely awkward during that whole announcement. It didn't feel like a mutual breakup at all. He came across reserved, almost sad, like he was still processing everything in real time. Kira, on the other hand, felt very different, almost too upbeat. So when one person looks like they're mourning the end of a family and the other seems oddly energized by it, it raises questions.
You guys did notice he was vlogging and I wasn't. At that time though, I was really sick.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really that bad between us at that point when you
For me,
were just vlogging.
I was going through it at that point. Like I saw it coming early because I just saw the switch. So for me, I was going through it, but I was still in the denial phase. Like, no, this can't.
Watching that clip, it comes off as pretty disrespectful to Oscar. It doesn't feel like his emotions were really taken into account at all. Like he barely had time to process what was happening, yet he just went along with the flow. And that's what makes it uncomfortable to watch. It feels less like a private emotional moment and more like content being made at his expense.
Does it make you feel better to say it like that? Do you feel better because it's not you?
Yeah, because I tried my ass off to make it work in the end, and
But that's the thing, guys.
Yeah.
If you're listening, in the end, doesn't always work anymore.
Again, she cuts him off, and for some reason she always feels the need to do that. And it gets way worse when she begins talking about cheating.
Nothing happened that's like crazy and dramatic. Nobody like cheated. Nobody like.
Feelings were hurt though. You did some things that hurt my feelings, but I found out later on, like a month later, that it's because you were holding these feelings inside and kind of resenting me.
But can you please clarify that I wasn't cheating? Because
Yeah, you weren't cheating.
People will dig into
You
that.
did a lot of things that bothered me. I wouldn't consider them full-blown cheating, but it was definitely lines
Oscar,
that
I'm
we
not
shouldn't have
keeping
crossed.
that.
All right, fine.
Now here's what doesn't quite add up. Why did Kira need Oscar to publicly confirm that she didn't cheat? Why even bring cheating into the conversation at all? Because usually when something genuinely didn't happen, you don't feel the need to clarify it, let alone have your ex explicitly stated for you. The fact that it had to be said out loud just makes the whole situation feel a little suspect. And interestingly enough, this wasn't the only non-issue that raised some eyebrows. When Oscar directly asked Kira what bothered her about a specific situation, her response was, well, this.
That situation bothers you.
It's not that situation. I just feel like once we sit here and start naming like specific things, like do we want to talk about when I had mental health issues? You were not there for me. Like we don't need to like dig into all of that.
Yeah, you're right. And I do think something like this, it's sad that it took this, but I wish I was better for you back then. Just I didn't know better. I didn't understand these things. Like I feel like I'm understanding them now, going through my own.
And again, notice the pattern. She didn't want to go into the details, yet she brought it up. Which makes you wonder, if it wasn't an issue, why does it need so much explaining? She says she doesn't want to name any issues, even though she literally just did. She brought up mental health, frames it as a serious factor, and then immediately uses it as a reason not to explain anything further. And that's confusing. Because if it was important to bring it up, then why shut down any real discussion about it? It ends up feeling like she's hinting at problems without actually taking responsibility for explaining them. It's almost like, there were issues, trust me, but without giving any clarity.
This is where, for me, I knew that it wasn't something I wanted to like hold on to anymore. I knew when I, in my head, was thinking of Oscar being happy with somebody else, and that made me happier, that's when I knew I didn't want to be with you anymore. When I think of you with somebody else, and that's what I want for you, I don't think you're in love with that person.
Really?
I can't meet your adrenaline standards. I don't like the things that you like. I don't want the same things that you want. I'm not interested in the same things that you are. And I want you to have that with somebody. So why am I like selfishly hanging?
She says she's been selfishly hanging on, but hanging on since when exactly? Since the channel started, since they had their first kid, or only after they had 4 kids and a full-blown family brand built together? Because those are very different timelines. She frames the breakup as an act of selflessness, like she's setting him free for his own good. She wants him to be happy. She wants him to be with someone who isn't her, because apparently keeping him all to herself would just be too selfish. Someone also said, wasn't there some issue a while ago that Oscar wouldn't marry her? Now she's engaged and is leaving. The whole situation is off. And truly it does, but then things get even more interesting. Oscar later reveals that in the month leading up to the breakup, she was actually mean to him, and he confronted her about it and straight up asked why she was treating him that way.
So what triggered you to be so mean though this last month?
Subconsciously, I really was like self-sabotaging almost, or like trying to get you to break up with me so it wasn't me. I don't even know. But like I was being mean because I was just angry. I also felt like I was lying to you, and that's not my personality. Like as soon as I decide something, you know that. Like I want to say it.
What this really shows is that she was already done with the relationship long before Oscar had even processed that something was wrong. Oscar seemed genuinely blindsided, thinking the only issue was that she had been mean or distant, which in hindsight must have been a sign that she was already emotionally checked out. She was impatient, tired of waiting for Oscar to be the one to pull the plug. So instead of breaking things off directly, she pushed the situation in a way that forced the outcome while still positioning herself so she wouldn't look like the villain. And that's the part that makes this whole situation feel so unsettling.
For me, it felt like forever, because this has been happening since like late November. So for me, it's felt like forever, but in the grand scheme of things, this all happened fast. And it's kind of crazy, like...
I think a little bit this is where we differ. In my mind, things have been happening for like a year.
Really?
Oscar is clearly caught off guard by this. For almost an entire year, he'd been living with someone who felt like a stranger, and he didn't even realize she had fallen out of a love song before this video was recorded. She kept it to herself the whole time.
When I was like, oh, I hate this. Oh, I hate that you get so angry all the time. I hate that you throw things. I hate that this. I hate this. And like slowly over time, or like we just aren't having fun together anymore. We just like little things slowly.
Hey, but I hadn't gotten mad at all up until like late November when things were going downhill.
Oscar is clearly stunned by this whole situation. You can literally see him pausing, backtracking, and trying to make sense of everything as it unfolds, like his brain is playing catch-up with reality. Someone also said, without listening to it, I couldn't tell whether he was laughing or crying. They really need to take a break from posting. Many people agree this is a conversation that never should have happened with a camera in the room. Because the moment you hit record, it stops being private and starts becoming content. And for someone who built an entire career turning vulnerability into views, it raises an uncomfortable question. Was this really about closure? Or was it another moment where pain became something to package, upload, and profit from? At no point did anyone stop and say, maybe we should cut this part, or let's reset the camera and rehash this, or even try to make the whole situation less awkward and more watchable. Instead, what we're left with is this incredibly uncomfortable, secondhand embarrassment kind of video. And trust me, you weren't the only one who felt it. Everyone did.
I gotta talk about this. The worst breakup of all time. Is that a term I would...
Why say that to his face on camera for your audience? Like, why do that? You have sat this man down and are breaking up with him again and rubbing his nose in it like a dog who took a shit on the carpet, and you're like, hey, don't do that again. You know, like making him smell it. What is the point? You could have just said it in like a 1-minute video, like, hey, look, we broke up, it was mutual, we're fucking done, alright? The channel will go on. But instead we have a 15-minute dissertation about why she was in the right to break up with Oscar.
Or she's like, I dumped you, I cheated on you, but also like a few years ago, I was having a rough time and you weren't perfect. It's like, dude, no. That's not why y'all broke up. You don't get to be the victim. Again, I'm making assumptions. I don't know what happened.
We could list more for you, but it would take all the time we have. And that's not all from the breakup video.
We're gonna be like vlogging and uploading on this channel together. We still are gonna live in the same house. We still are sharing finances.
Yeah.
Like
we're gonna do taxes together. We're gonna keep our money together until we taxes and figure out like, all right, what direction do we go from there?
we're just like not rushing anything.
Yeah.
It's really strange that right after telling their audience that their relationship had just ended, they immediately reassure everyone. Don't worry, you'll still be entertained. But later on, more interesting revelations are brought to light. Apparently, Oscar went to a strip bar and spent $200 without even getting the lap dance that he paid for.
Oscar went to the strip club, didn't get a lap dance, stupid. Didn't Venmo me just as much money as the stripper, stupid.
I barely threw anything, but sure.
Tell them you barely didn't and how much it was.
Okay.
You sound like an idiot. Tell them.
I was trying to underplay.
Yeah.
It was only $200.
Only? What kind of money are you making? Not any, because you're not up.
While you can argue that many people deal with grief differently, this story was probably brought up as a way to convince themselves and the viewers as to why they were breaking up. Apparently, she actually told him to go sleep with other people.
I was even trying to get at it, but she was telling me like, hey, I think you should sleep with someone. Like, what? First of all, I wouldn't even know how to go about that.
Like, I don't know, guys, I feel like they just like need that. Like, Oscar and I haven't slept together in some time.
It's been like a month, yeah. Like
2 months.
Yeah, that happened, and her reason, according to her, is that guys just need that. One Reddit user stated, I think she's at least entertaining the idea of someone new because of how she's pressuring Oscar to sleep with someone else and seems super happy to move on. Weird vibes. For a moment, they forget they're in front of a camera and start a small back and forth on the last time they slept together. It was so awkward, especially since Kira was ready to continue that conversation, until Oscar had to point out that some things were too much information for their audience. And while we're on the subject of sleeping together, Kira makes a hint that she might just want more kids.
Well, that's your new person's problem, not mine, dude. For real. But yeah, that's where we're at. Vlogs are probably gonna be, like I said, like probably the same for a little bit. We don't know. We don't know.
We don't know, guys. We're just like here.
One other issue that many people failed to see was pointed out by this comment. Kira thinks it's all cute and funny. I know their kids are young, but I feel for them knowing the intimate details of their parents' separation were uploaded before the wounds had a moment to heal. Not long after the release of the initial breakup video, they released yet another video that answered some of the audience's questions on some matters such as these.
And the first thing I want to say is that, you know, Oscar and I are in a very good place. And I don't want to speak for both of us. People get very mad that I speak for both of us. You need to speak for yourself. Okay. Oscar's just like that. Oscar, I'm not like trying to talk over him or say his feelings. Like Oscar and I just express ourselves differently, and he's much.
So right off the bat, she begins to address some of the audience's concerns from the last breakup video they uploaded, clarifying that she does not talk over Oscar, even if we could see that she did. But the great takeaway from that is they're just being their authentic selves. They're not pretending. She just talks over him because she talks more than he does. He thinks while she talks. And just as expected, there were so many reactions to this video as well, but one particularly coming from Dr. Kirkhonda, who's an experienced psychotherapist. He had this to say.
She really is trying to make the point that they're happy and that they're in a good place, and she keeps trying to say, hey, say, because people aren't going to believe it if I say it and you don't. But I don't know if Oscar is 100%. Now, maybe part of what he's doing is presenting to her when they're not on camera that, you know, he's not in a bad place, but, you know, he's probably in a bad place at times. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't in a pretty bad. I should say that he reached out to me actually after the last video and said that we just had a short text exchange, and it wasn't long.
Earlier, we touched on the subject of Oscar's vasectomy, and it was yet again addressed in this video.
This one actually infuriates me. I never asked Oscar to get a vasectomy. I did not want him to get a vasectomy. I wanted more kids, and I highly encouraged he didn't get the vasectomy.
Thinking we were gonna be together forever. Not that I want any more kids or that I want other kids with other people right now. I think I made the right choice as of right now. And I think forever. I don't know.
The idea that's being painted here is that Oscar willingly got the vasectomy, but also that it's reversible. Dr. Hondas had this to say.
I think what he's saying is, well, even though when I got the vasectomy, I thought I was going to be with Kira for the rest of my life, and now that we're not going to be together, I'm not quite sure if getting the vasectomy is the best thing. But actually, I still think it is best that I got a vasectomy because I already have 4 kids, and probably wouldn't want. But I think if he was a little bit more disclosing right now, he would say, if I could take it back, I might actually. I still might get it in the future at some point, but I don't know what the future holds. I might meet someone, and that person might really want to have a kid with me and might convince me to have more kids.
The general feel of this video is way less cringe and awkward than the first one, and a bit more mature too. It seems like they took these concerns from the previous video to heart and made some improvements. This is more philosophical and delved deep into the mindset of adults, how they're finding themselves and navigating their own experiences since their breakup. It's in this vein that Oscar asks why the breakup was necessary, what led her to decide that ending things with him was the best option in that scenario, and she had this to say.
One of my biggest things is like being alone, and I think that's truly when you do find yourself is when you're put in these like critical life situations. And I feel like you said, I've been so comfortable with you that I'm not, like, I don't know anything outside of that, and I don't feel like
In the immediate aftermath of the January 2022 breakup announcement, the separation did not function the way most viewers expected. Rather than creating distance due to the breakup, Kira and Oscar continued filming together as if the relationship had simply shifted form rather than ended. They appeared in content side by side, still sharing space and responsibilities on camera, which blurred the reality of the breakup and gave the impression that nothing fundamental had changed. Kira did move out of the shared home, but the social structure around her remained largely intact. She stayed close to Hannah, maintaining their friendship and professional overlap through the podcast. From the outside, it appeared that Kira had exited the romantic relationship while keeping nearly every other element of her life unchanged. Oscar, meanwhile, was left adjusting to the emotional reality of the split while still participating in shared content and public appearances. And they're wearing the same outfit as their breakup video because this was filmed the same day as their breakup video. Plus, Kira still has the same perky attitude as her breakup video. In this episode of their podcast, she introduces Oscar as the ex with the biggest smile on her face.
We're not feeling lonely. We have guests. Who do we have? Who are they? Who's they?
Who are we?
Who's they? We have the ex. We have the ex.
Oh, that's gonna need an explanation.
No, it doesn't. That's the ex.
You can only imagine how awkward that episode will be, given how awkward the actual breakup video was. No family's perfect, but at least not all families come to air their dirty laundry online like Oscar and Kira did. As time goes on, we can see the former couple begin to grow apart more and more. Kira and Oscar begin to upload their own different videos. Kira finds a new apartment and moves there. Oscar's with the kids and navigating being a dad without a constant mother in their lives. Many people have their own theories as to what's going on. Some believe Kira has someone else. Others just think making any assumptions can be dangerous. Someone else writes, "There's something about this that makes me uncomfortable." From the breakup video to her documenting her family falling apart for views, to her getting a new apartment within the space of weeks, she's irresponsible and setting a bad example for her children. I don't doubt that Oscar may be partly to blame as much as her, but something about her doesn't add up. If she suddenly regretted the past 7 years and wants to be single again, that perception intensified dramatically in spring 2022 when a whistleblower contacted the Dad Challenge podcast with allegations that reframed the entire timeline. The individual claimed to have encountered Kira and Preston together in Las Vegas and alleged that the two propositioned her for a group encounter.
I mean, I'm not going to be telling you what her name is. She doesn't want to be on camera. She doesn't want her name out there. But she said, look, how do I say this? I need to tell you something. I had a threesome with Preston and Kira. And I said, Preston and Kira, like, from Okay Baby? She's like, yes. And then started talking a little bit. And I'm not going to share our conversations, but she basically said, yeah, I was in Vegas. I was approached on Bumble by Preston, and Preston said, hey, are you interested in read my profile. I'm only interested in, and doing threesomes with my partner. Right. And so I asked this person, are you sure it's not Hannah, this girl, Hannah, that Preston was dating? And she's like, no, it absolutely wasn't Hannah.
Hold up, Preston? This guy? Preston is Hannah's husband. Hannah is Kira's best friend. So this suggests that Kira had a threesome with her best friend's husband. Now, what's most striking is that no one could see any form of chemistry between Kira and Preston, and it seemed they merely acknowledged each other's presence as the husband of my best friend or the best friend of my wife. But besides that, there was no on-screen romance or even a hint of anything more than a cordial relationship. The whistleblower provided what was described as corroborating material, including Bumble messages, hotel-related photos, and phone number verification meant to establish authenticity.
Preston on Bumble sent this to my source. Says, hi, did you read profile? Yes. You interested? We are. Are you? Paradise, where are you? Yes, I am. So he's asking where she's from, blah, blah, blah. Don't forget, they're in Vegas at this point. This is April 21st, 2022. If you wanted proof that Kira's in Vegas, here it is. I did find it. So Kira's here in Vegas at the Wynn Hotel, which is a very, very posh, fancy hotel. Very expensive, like crazy expensive. These people just spend money like water. And this is the photo that Preston sent my source. Yes, that's Preston, Hannah's ex-fiance. Hi, baby girl. Just getting time to respond myself. Let's grab drinks and show you what rough really feels like. Kira. So this is Kira texting from Preston's account. Could be, could not be. Asked her to share Preston's phone number. And she shared Preston's phone number. And then I corroborated that with someone who knew what Preston's phone number was. And they were the exact same number.
According to the whistleblower, during conversation that night, Kira stated that she and Preston had been together for 8 months. That single claim detonated the existing narrative. Counting backward from April 2022 placed the start of the breakup around September 2021, months before Kira and Oscar's private breakup, and during the period Kira later described as emotional disconnection. If true, it meant the relationship with Preston overlapped directly with her relationship with Oscar. The timeline grew more complicated when it was reported that Preston allegedly filed for divorce in April 2022. This placed his separation from Hannah squarely within the same window as the Vegas incident, and shortly after the public breakup announcement. If this is true, this just really questions the premise for why Kira broke up with Oscar in the first place. Remember, one of Kira's reasons for breaking up was the fact that she said she wanted to go see the world and experience what it means to be single again. It would imply that Kira has been cheating on Oscar and Preston has been cheating on Hannah all this while.
Said, like she asked, do you get jealous of him and all that kind of stuff? And Kira said this, according to my source. Well, not really, because I was the other third person before this. She said those words. I was the third person. And so now I'm together with him and I'm not the third person anymore. And so I don't really get jealous, but we did this and it ruined my friendship with his, for all intents and purposes, his fiance.
I think this now brings a particular clip to mind.
Oh, I just got it.
Say it.
You can't, if it started, okay, let's say that Oscar cheated on me and got with this woman and then they got together. She would know in the back of her mind that he cheated on me. I hope she realizes she's not about that.
Yeah,
like he could possibly cheat on her too.
Yeah, like you're cheating with somebody in a relationship
Yeah.
and they're willing to cheat on that person. So
why wouldn't they cheat on you?
Why wouldn't? Yeah,
and
they
you
do
can think
that
you're
too.
a diamond in the rough, but go to therapy, get out of your mindset, because that's not true. None of us.
Sometimes there's diamonds, but not that often.
Well, we're all diamonds, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't, if somebody's willing to cheat on somebody else, I have a hard time believing they wouldn't do it again.
Yeah.
Like really cheating. I'm talking about like you actually went and slept with somebody else while you were like married to another person.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah. So anyways, luckily that's never happened to me, but it does make me angry to think about because I've seen the effect that it takes on people, and it.
Anyway, according to the third-party source, Kira admits to being the third wheel at some point, but she developed feelings for Preston, but those feelings graduated and they became a full-blown couple. What we don't know for sure is whether the other person in the threesome was Hannah, her best friend, but that's what's being implied.
Was likely having a relationship with Hannah and Preston in September. and could have been before that, which means that they were cheating. All of them were sitting there behind Oscar's back, having threesomes behind his back.
Well, this pretty much looks like there's some sort of connection, especially since Kira says her kink is watching her partner be with another person.
Have we ever been interested in swinging? No. I'm not interested in another guy at all. In fact, my kink, the reason why threesomes happen for us is because I like watching him with her.
By mid-2022, it became clear that Hannah Hawker had not been operating within the same information as the public. According to accounts discussed after the release of the Dad Challenge podcast video, Hannah reportedly did not know that Kira and Preston were involved until the allegations and evidence were made public. The revelation did not come through a private conversation or a direct admission, but through that external expose that laid out timelines, screenshots, and claims she never had been given a chance to process privately. For many observers, this detail shifted Hannah's role from passive bystander to someone actively kept in the dark. Once the information surfaced, the friendship between Hannah and Kira collapsed completely. Any remaining public interaction stopped, and Kira later confirmed that they were no longer friends. As speculation intensified, Kira broke her silence in December 2022 with a public Instagram statement aimed at reclaiming control of the narrative. In the same statement, Kira attempted to contextualize her behavior in the January breakup video. She explained that her smiling, laughing, and detached demeanor were the result of emotional suppression rather than indifference. According to her, she coped by shutting down emotionally and using humor as a defense mechanism, which she said caused her to come across as heartless and unrecognizable even to herself. In the post, she denied cheating on Oscar outright, insisting that while their relationship had serious problems behind the scenes, infidelity was not the cause of the breakup. She acknowledged that there had been multiple near breakups in the past, and framed the end of their relationship as the combination of long-standing issues rather than a sudden decision driven by someone else. Kira also directly addressed the accusations surrounding Preston. She claimed that Preston did not leave Hannah for her, distancing herself from the collapse of their engagement. According to Kira, the end of Preston and Hannah's relationship was separate and unrelated to her own involvement with him. She stated that she and Preston had been dating since March 2022, a timeline that directly contradicted the claims made by the Vegas whistleblower and is one of the most contested points in the entire saga. While the statement was intended to clarify and calm the situation, it had the opposite effect for many viewers. The explanations did little to resolve the timeline discrepancies, and instead highlighted how much information had been withheld or reframed only after exposure. By the end of 2022, the narrative had fully fractured. Hannah was gone from Kira's life, and every denial was now measured against evidence that Kira no longer controlled. In all of this, the only person who seemed to care for the kids was Oscar, who abruptly took on a single dad role while she discovered herself. And after 8 months after the breakup video, on July 31st, they released what was their last video on OK Baby. The title was OK Baby is Coming to an End.
I think it's time we make it official. Yeah, we've got a couple things coming up. We're getting ready to go our separate ways as much as we can. Pretty much the only thing holding us together is the kids. OK Baby is coming to an end. I think we got the plan is to make 2 more videos. This is gonna be our final season. I mean, it's been kind of our final season.
3 episodes.
Yeah, it's been our final season. We're just trying to make it official now.
Well, the first thing you might notice in this video is that, unlike the past videos where Kira was doing all the talking and even talking over Oscar, this time Oscar was talking more and setting some things straight. Did the recent allegations and drama contribute to them ending the channel? We may never know, but this brings tears to Kira's eyes as they talk about the end of OK Baby.
No, it's what's best. And that's why we're doing it ultimately, but I think that it's been dragged on, if you will, when we both have known it's probably going to come to an end for a while.
Yeah.
But because it's definitely not easy, I mean, this has been, besides each other and our kids, this has been the biggest part of our life.
However, the close of OK Baby doesn't mean that both of them were done with YouTube. Not at all. They both already had their own channel with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. That video really showed where Oscar and Kira were mentally at the time. Oscar looked done. Not in a dramatic way, but in that quiet, exhausted way where someone just wants to move on with their life. He was clearly ready to focus on more important things like building himself back up, figuring out his future away from OK Baby, and raising the kids. After the split, Kira continued posting family-style content on her own channel, while Oscar took a different route. His content became less about family and more about him, his growth, his mindset. how he was navigating his life after everything that happened. At this point, you'd think the controversy surrounding OK Baby and Kira in particular would finally die down. The following year, however, Oscar brings Kira onto his own channel, where the two of them sit down and answer questions directly from their audience, again.
Number 1.
How do you feel about Kira's new boyfriend?
Ooh,
That's a good one.
I was definitely shocked at first. It was definitely an adjustment. A little, I wouldn't say it caught me off guard.
But kinda.
Yeah, but definitely. It's just weird because of who it was. Truthfully, if she dated anybody else, I wouldn't care.
Oscar surely handled this with grace and some level of maturity, but the next question makes it seem like Kira was still doing some damage control to her image.
Number 2?
Any regrets on how you handled the split?
I think every breakup is gonna come with regrets, and especially in the sense of how things are handled. There's really no perfect way. I do kind of regret how I handled things online. Actually, not kind of, a lot. I do feel like that I was trying to pretend I was okay when truly I wasn't, and I should have accepted and not embraced, but just been okay with having emotions at the time. And then also, I think I should have given you more space and not tried to be friends right away.
Yeah, I could see that. I regret the way I acted out of emotion towards the end of our relationship because I saw it coming. Lashed out a few times. I hate that I did that. Wish we went to therapy. Like, the minute you started having those feelings, I wish you would have told me. We could have tried to go into therapy. I would say, for those of you who are feeling any sort of way towards your significant other, let them know immediately. Seek therapy. Try to fix it as soon as possible and nip it in the butt before it becomes an overwhelming feeling that you can't escape anymore, you know?
While she may be making an effort to fix things, for many longtime OK Baby viewers, it might already be too late. From the time of the breakup to this moment in their story, most of the attention and backlash have been centered around Kira. But you might be wondering, what about Oscar? What has he been up to through all this? Well, on August 1st, 2023, Oscar uploaded a video to his own channel titled The Story of the Broken Me, and that video gave viewers a very different perspective on how deeply all of this really affected him.
Alright. I'm done playing the part. This is a hard video for me to make, and it was truthfully uncomfortable. I like making happy videos, and obviously this one wasn't, but I felt the need to make it so that I didn't feel like those emotions had power over me anymore. I wanted to get them out there, just let them be, and that way I could start being myself again. Like, carrying all that weight all alone for so long, it was just heavy, and I was pretending to be somebody I wasn't. And it was tough. I'm hoping that now I can just go back to being 100% authentic. I felt like I was holding things back, and I hate it. I just love being an open book, and I love just being me. And I couldn't be me with all these feelings. Glad I waited to tell everyone until I at least had most of it figured out. But now it's just back to getting to work on them. And like I said, I'm doing better, but still got a long ways to go.
In it, he spoke candidly about the emotional toll the separation had taken on him. He described a prolonged period of grief marked by confusion, self-doubt, and a sense of disorientation after losing not just his partner, but the life structure he had known since adolescence. Oscar said he felt empty and lost, trying to make sense of how the relationship he thought he had could end the way it did. He talked about slowly working through that pain without the constant pressure of performing for an audience. The video came across as honest and unpolished, and many people felt it showed how deeply the breakup had affected him, rather than how protected or detached he might have seemed online. As time passed, Oscar began to rebuild his personal life more quietly. He entered a new relationship with a woman named Addie, and when the relationship became public, the response was overwhelmingly positive.
Guys, that thing is a raging bull out here in the lake. It's literally like the rodeo version of surfing.
Addie was well received by the audience, and Oscar was widely viewed as having found peace after a prolonged period of emotional turmoil. The narrative surrounding him shifted from loss to recovery, with public sentiment largely framing him as someone who had endured betrayal and come out the other side with dignity. While Oscar's recovery unfolded gradually, Kira's personal life moved at a much faster pace. In July 2023, Kira announced her engagement to Preston. The engagement drew immediate hate due to the timeline and the history connecting all four individuals. The relationship's progression appeared rapid to the public, especially in light of how recently multiple long-term relationships had collapsed. Later on, Kira would reveal that the wedding date had been moved up, and by January 2024, Kira and Preston were married. By this point, the contrast between Oscar's slow inward recovery and Kira's fast-moving new chapter had become a defining feature of how audiences interpreted the fallout of the OK Baby collapse. In May 2024, Kira announced that she was pregnant with her 5th child. The announcement immediately reignited controversy, not because of the pregnancy itself, but because of her own documented history discussing why another pregnancy should never happen. Besides that, Oscar's vasectomy became a focal point again. What had once been presented as a mutual health-driven choice was now reframed by critics as a sacrifice that ultimately benefited Kira alone. Many pointed out that Oscar underwent the procedure at a young age, under the understanding that Kira could not safely carry more children, only for her to later conceive with someone else. As criticism mounted around the pregnancy, another long silent figure finally spoke. Hannah Hawker re-entered the public narrative in 2024, not through interviews or direct accusations, but through symbolic and carefully curated actions. She launched a GoFundMe campaign asking for help covering matching tattoos she shared with Kira. The campaign framed the tattoos as painful reminders of betrayal and heartache, describing the cover-up not as cosmetic, but as an act of reclaiming her identity and closing a chapter that no longer served her. The response was immediate. The goal was met quickly as supporters rallied around her. Alongside the GoFundMe, Hannah released a diss-style poem inspired by Kendrick Lamar's Euphoria. In it, she accused Kira of betrayal, manipulation, and false narratives. She referenced loyalty, broken trust, and the collapse of girl code, framing Kira not as a misunderstood friend, but as someone who knowingly crossed lines. One of the most striking claims in the poem was a reference to a $20,000 loss, which many interpreted as financial damage tied to the relationship's fallout. Whether from shared projects, wedding expenses, or emotional destabilization that carried material consequences, the poem resonated widely, especially because it contrasted sharply with Hannah's previous silence. Rather than vague statements, it presented direct language and unmistakable intent. After the poem gained traction and the GoFundMe surpassed its goal, Hannah closed the campaign and removed the poem from public platforms. She announced that she was ending the chapter and intended to move forward. The timing made it clear that she had said what she needed to say, not for prolonged attention, but for closure. By mid-2024, the narrative surrounding Kira had shifted again. After years of placing their children at the center of their online identity, Kira and Oscar quietly changed course and stopped showing their children's faces on social media. For the first time since the channel's creation, the kids who had once driven thumbnails, storylines, and engagement were partially removed from public view. But not long after she said that she would stop posting about her children, she uploaded an entire vlog centered about one of her kids, even putting the child's name and age in the title. Even though she clearly put in the description that she'll still be keeping her children private and stated that this particular video is only a one-time thing and she would continue to keep her children's lives private. That one-time thing happened again and again. This just goes to show that she really wanted to show her kids and maintain OK Baby. But there's only the K for Kira without the O for Oscar. The collapse of OK Baby exposed how easily children become collateral in influencer economies built on intimacy and access. By the end of the saga, the most lasting consequence was the realization that the real cost of family vlogging is paid by the people with the least agency, the children. When the adults finally stepped back, the damage was already done, leaving behind an example of how easily childhood can be traded for clicks.
It became stupid, and regardless of how long it's been, it just came like so clear and so stupid of me not to do it. I felt like I'm stupid if I don't do this.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing this girl. Yeah. Basically anything I want, you have.
I don't get how you can sit there, look at the camera, fake cry with no tears on your face and say the words, I forgive myself, because how the fuck do you forgive yourself when it's taking you 10 years to speak up about it? When the only reason you forgive yourself when you want to bring this up now is because The Sun, a massive UK newspaper, has decided to write about you.
Why would an influencer ever fake stage 3 cancer? In October, it had been the Scottish lady Kira Cousins who faked pregnancy for 9 months and threw a gender reveal. Now it's popular TikTok influencer and mother of 2, Brittany Millers, who's been trending online for faking stage 3 gastric cancer back in 2017.
I said I had an illness, which was cancer.
I didn't do this for malicious intent or to scam people.
With 3.5 million followers on TikTok, this mummy influencer built her empire on lifestyle content, cooking videos, and parenting updates. However, everything blew up when Britney confessed to the cancer lie that had haunted her for almost a decade.
I'm so deeply sorry to anyone that I've upset or triggered from saying what I said.
Screenshots from her ex-best friend Beth revealed that Britney had lied to her friends about having radiotherapy appointments, and she also had sent guilt-tripping messages to them so they would pity her and spend time with her. Beth also disclosed that Britney had once told her that she was in pain when the tumor was removed. To make matters worse, Britney set up a GoFundMe page that fetched her £150. And as if that wasn't bad enough, Britney switched to committing serious crimes. She stole money from her friend's grandmother. Why? Britney claimed she was drunk and heavily medicated, and was eventually convicted of fraud by false representation in 2020. But here's the crazy part. After Britney built her influencer empire, she blocked and deleted anyone who dared mention her criminal past.
Like, why is she blocking me? I posted that video.
Fortunately, everything changed when the Sun newspaper exposed her story. Britney had no choice but to confess that she had faked cancer in 2017.
So I never wanted to talk about this time in my life because it was a very difficult time for me. But I owe it to my followers and people that support me.
However, what she had to say was completely different from all the evidence lined up against her. You won't believe the words that came out of her mouth.
I also want to put a stop to the people that are twisting and exaggerating what actually happened.
How did a lifestyle influencer with such a horrific past manage to amass millions of followers? And is this a case of mental health illness, similar to factitious disorder like we saw with Kira Cousins? Or was this all for views? Because 3.5 million TikTok followers is a big achievement. Britney's story starts with Beth, her ex-best friend of 5 years. Actually, it's thanks to her that Britney's story made it to the internet today. Beth's TikTok account, which has a little over 10,000 followers, is like a time capsule into the past, because it contains handwritten notes about her time with Britney before their friendship went sour. In one of her notes, let's call it journals, Beth wrote, "Britney was my best friend from the age of 16 through 21. That's 5 years of friendship. It's a period that even couples don't spend on average. This means that no one knows Britney better than Beth." However, it wasn't until November 2017 that 21-year-old Britney dropped a bombshell that would forever shatter their bond. She told Beth she had been diagnosed with stage 3 gastric cancer. Britney lied about some really awful things that I do not feel comfortable writing on social media, but the latest confession was that in November 2017 she was diagnosed with stage 3 gastric cancer. Cancer's no joke. According to the World Health Organization, cancer is the leading cause of death worldwide, accounting for nearly 10 million deaths in 2020, or nearly 1 in 6 deaths. It kills by growing into key organs, nerves, or blood vessels and interfering with and impairing their function. It can begin in almost any human cell. In Brittany Miller's fabricated case, she had stage 3 gastric cancer. Let's take a glimpse of the kind of illness Brittany was claiming to have, because this is no joke.
Hello guys, my name is Diana Serrano. I am 26 years old and I'm battling stage 4 gastric cancer. Lately I've been in and out of the hospitals. I've been really struggling financially.
This is how bad cancer can get. First of all, gastric cancer is stomach cancer. In this type of sickness, the cancer cells usually begin in the inner lining of a person's stomach, then spread to other areas of the stomach walls. Now, if detected early at the first stage, it could be treated, but if it enters stage 2 and crosses to stage 3, then it could become fatal. Stage 2 and 3 are considered later cancer stages because the cancers and tumors tend to be larger and have grown deeply into surrounding tissues. They may also have spread to other parts of the body or the lymph system. This is a very serious and unpredictable stage of cancer. Patients who've reached this point will be burdened with the thoughts of what would happen at the end of their lives, how long their final period would be, and whether or not they would survive. This is the reality of people with stage 3 gastric cancer. Sadly, Diana's video from earlier is the last one on her page, and her best friend broke the sad news of her passing in the comments, much to the dismay of everyone. Someone out there is living with this ticking bomb, and they're valuing everything they hold dear. But Brittany Miller completely used this kind of heartbreaking story to deceive Beth and her loved ones. Now, if your best friend tells you they have cancer, you wouldn't think they're lying, right? That wouldn't even cross your mind for a second. You would just immediately believe them because in good faith, you assume they're also a good friend who wouldn't lie about something so horrible. And Beth was exactly that kind of friend. Supportive, caring, willing to do anything to help her best friend. So she researched everything she could about gastric cancer. Beth even cooked for the person she believed was her best friend and catered for her needs the best way she could. She even sent her money for radiotherapy. When I found out, I did all the research I could to help her, made her a hamper up of all the good products and food that could help her, looked after her, cooked for her, transferred her money to get her radiotherapy appointments, anything she needed. Beth truly was the best friend a girl could ask for. She was there for every supposed hospital visit, every fake tumor update, every manufactured crisis. She believed every single word that came out of Brittany's mouth. However, all this time, Beth failed to realize that Brittany not only weaponized this lie, but also used it as emotional blackmail to control her best friend's every move. Beth further described a systematic pattern of guilt tripping that Brittany began to adopt at this point in the lie. According to a written note, Brittany centered their friendship all around her. Brittany's level of control was so much that Beth wasn't allowed to make friends or spend time with her family. She always brought up the topic of her radiotherapy to get whatever she wanted. I wasn't allowed to have other friends. She would fall out with me if I was spending time with my family and not her. She would get nasty if I didn't want to go out on a night out with her because I was concerned about her illness. She used to make scenarios up such as, "It's the end of my 3-month radiotherapy session. The tumor has shrunk. Please, you have to come out for a drink with me." I truly believe she manipulated me. Now, if we look at it through Beth's perspective, she didn't see an issue with Brittany's behavior. Her best friend was extremely sick and needed both physical and emotional support. This wasn't a little flu or headache. It was stage 4 gastric cancer. Brittany continued to exploit Beth's love and care for her. Let's take a look at how far she went with it. Fortunately, Beth's side of the story didn't just end with handwritten notes. She also provided screenshots of messages between her and Brittany all those years ago. In those text messages, you can see how Brittany would always talk about her illness to make sure Beth felt sorry for her. "I'm either at radiotherapy, sleeping, at home with my mom on my back, or at Didcot. Didn't go out last weekend because I felt too ill in the end." And not only did she talk about cancer like it wasn't a serious sickness, but she also guilt-tripped Beth for not spending time with her. Here is one example. "So you actually won't come out tomorrow?" And here is another. "I just would have thought at a time like this you'd prioritize me." And as if lying about cancer wasn't bad enough, Brittany decided to take things to an even more disgusting level. During Beth's 21st birthday celebration, Brittany stole money from Beth's grandmother's card. Beth immediately confronted her, and guess what? Brittany denied it at first. Beth's grandmother, who had been praying for Brittany throughout her supposed illness, had given Beth a card with money in it for her birthday. It was in a Sainsbury's bag, and when Beth discovered it, the pink card had been ripped open and the money was gone. Beth believed Brittany had taken it, and so she confronted her through text. This was meant to be a memorable and joyful celebration, but Brittany had ended up ruining their day. Brittany eventually admitted it in a very shameful way. Before confessing, she tried to defend herself by saying she had been drunk. In her text, Brittany said, "I picked up a random card without thinking, not knowing what was in it. Trust me, it breaks my heart that I did that. I didn't say anything yesterday because I was very drunk Saturday, and I don't remember it clear, so I didn't want to say, because I didn't know for sure." First of all, how does one casually pick up a random card without thinking or knowing what was in it? That's called stealing. Then after doing that, she shifted her explanation to how drunk she was and didn't remember anything. It was clear that Brittany was desperate to offer an explanation to get out of the mess she had created by herself. This is the kind of excuse a 5-year-old would come up with, and someone she expected her best friend to believe it. Nothing can justify stealing from a friend. Whether you're drunk or not, there is absolutely no excuse for it. Stealing only shows that you're not a good person and you have no respect for other people's properties. For Beth, it was not easy to forgive. What Brittany did truly hurt her to the core. Her own best friend had stolen from her grandmother who had been praying day and night for her recovery. This was extremely shameful. But was this the end of Brittany's lies? Definitely not. Brittany's love for stealing wasn't only limited to Beth's grandmother's card. In fact, it graduated to a much grander scale. This is where Brittany Miller's case started to take a turn. As this cancer lie began to spread, a Just Giving page asking for £500 suddenly surfaced on the internet. The page revealed a short request. We're raising money to help financially support my friend Brittany fighting gastric cancer. For those who do not know, this is like a GoFundMe, a crowdfunding page where you can request for financial assistance for a particular cause. In Brittany's case, it was for her invisible fight against gastric cancer. The information on the page read, "My beautiful sister, best friend Brittany is 21 and has been diagnosed with gastric cancer and is fighting for her life. Any donations or support would be very much appreciated." Among the numerous screenshots Beth provided, she revealed that Brittany had sent the link to the Just Giving page to her. At the time, Brittany had claimed that her sister had created the account, but Beth believed this was a lie. Brittany had created the account by herself and sent it to everyone. The page was shared among friends, family, and former colleagues. It's sad to see how much Brittany's friends had cared for her. They were going to such lengths, reaching out to people they were not even close contact with, all for the sake of raising funds for her radiotherapy. One of Brittany's friends even donated and sent her a heartfelt message. "Hi Brittany, really saddened to hear your news. You're a fighter and like everybody who knows, we know you will beat this. I hope that the little that I've donated will help ease the financial burden." Unfortunately, they did not know what was going on in the background, because had they known the ugly truth, they would have never donated any money. Surprisingly, Brittany responded to this heartwarming text. "Thank you so much for the message and the money. I really appreciate it," and kept receiving support from everywhere. Her Just Giving page also climbed up to 150 pounds. But then something strange happened. The donation page was suddenly taken down, and the actual truth about Brittany started to circulate. Brittany Miller had lied about having gastric cancer, and the key witness in this case was none other than her own mother. Beth explained how Brittany's mother had realized that Brittany had been lying all along. She was a mother after all. She had to know what was wrong with her daughter. This commenter had made a valid point in their question. Did her family also believe her? How did she say she had so many hospital appointments? Surely family would have wanted to attend too. Those are pretty valid questions. Did her family not accompany her to those appointments? Well, the simple answer is yes, they did. Brittany's family also wanted to be part of her treatment journey at the hospital. However, it was during that very trip that Brittany's mother discovered that it was a big lie. And her mom told me it was all a lie. She took her to the hospital one day with her granddad as her own mom had suspicions, and when she got to the desk, according to Beth, Brittany's mother was suspicious and had taken her and her grandfather to the hospital one day. But on getting to the front desk, something strange happened. There were no appointments under Brittany's name. Then Brittany told them to wait in the car. This was when the most bizarre thing happened. Brittany's mother watched Brittany as she sat down, stalled for time, and walked out of the hospital as if she had completed her radiotherapy session. This is the height of deception. No good person would do something like this, especially to their own family who was genuinely worried about her health. Beth also explained that Brittany always kept her at arm's length from her mom, and she learned about this from Brittany's mom when they met up a year after their friendship had ended. From this turn of events, it's possible that Brittany's mother had discovered that her daughter was lying about cancer from the start. However, the poor mom didn't know that Brittany continued to lie to her friends. And even worse, she'd raised 150 pounds from a GoFundMe page for it. This is absolutely disgusting. Thankfully, Brittany's lies were finally discovered. The exact circumstance surrounding how the truth came out is unclear, but it eventually circulated to her friends and family. Brittany and Beth's friendship ended immediately. There's no screenshots showing how their friendship ended. However, there are screenshots of one particular confrontation on the internet. This is the one between Brittany and the friend who had sent her that heartwarming message that Brittany responded to. When the truth came out, this friend confronted Brittany. The friend sent a text to her demanding an explanation about the entire situation before she took the case up to the police. The message read, "I want to give you a chance to fix this before I go to the police. I have proof from your family and friends, also the Just Giving page, and so on." The friend also revealed that she had donated money from the little she had because she had been unemployed at the time. Most importantly, she didn't even have a job, yet she donated, knowing her friend was scamming her. With the truth now revealed, she was ready to take legal action if Brittany failed to refund the money. The friend told Brittany, "Please return my money so I can give it to someone who genuinely needs it. If you don't bother, I will be going to the police." And what did Brittany say to all this? Well, she simply blocked her. Just straight up blocked her and hoped the problem would go away. But this friend had actual backbone and followed through on the threat.
Report. Big balls because she just blocked her. Then we see she got charged. Wild. This was the friend that actually did have the balls and took it to court with her other friends, as they were the ones who donated to the GoFundMe. They knew Brittany from work.
Brittany's friend made the report to the Criminal Justice Department in Oxfordshire, and an investigation was launched. Afterward, an email from the legal team handling the case revealed what happened next. Today, Brittany was interviewed about the offense, and she admitted that she did not have cancer, and she never has done. She admitted that she set up the Just Giving page knowing full well what she was doing. This is what you should note at this point. Brittany didn't admit to the lies out of guilt or remorse. She admitted them because she was caught red-handed and had no choice. She confessed to the police that she never had cancer, that she set up the fundraising page herself, and that she knew exactly what she was doing. Subsequently, in July 2020, Brittany Miller was sentenced to 12 months by the criminal justice system. The official court documents state, at a previous hearing, Brittany Miller pleaded guilty to the following charges: fraud by false representation. The defendant has been given conditional discharge for 12 months. In addition to that, Brittany was ordered to pay compensation to her victims and £85 in cost to the Crown Prosecution Service. The case was concluded, and Brittany Miller now had a criminal record for fraud. She had officially been recognized as a criminal in the face of the law. But here's what makes this whole situation more infuriating. Despite her status as a fraudster, Brittany Miller was still lucky enough to rise to internet stardom as an influencer. In fact, her story had just begun, and it started unfolding with more drama. Brittany's influencing journey began on Instagram in May 2020, when she reviewed outfits and makeup products from brands like Primark and Just Right Beauty.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, happy.
Then by December that year, she had already grown and amassed 68 collaborations. However, it was sometime in between this period that Beth made it her mission to expose Brittany for what she had done in the past. This decision came right after Beth noticed that Brittany was promoting breast cancer awareness in her Instagram page sometime in 2020. This has come about again because she is now an influencer on Instagram, using her platform to promote a campaign, again, breast cancer awareness. This is not right. And since speaking openly about my experience, it seems a lot of other people have been hurt by this sick, evil girl. I don't wish any hate on her, but she does not deserve a platform, and people deserve to know the truth and be aware of what she is capable of. Now, by all means, her fans had to know who they were following and why she wasn't someone with a good conscience. Some of her followers might be fighting cancer, or they might have relatives who died from it. Moreover, her platforms were earning her solid incomes. It's estimated that with Instagram and TikTok combined, Brittany could be earning between $45,000 and $67,000. The engagement Brittany was receiving from her fans was fetching her an enormous amount of money. Therefore, they had every right to know that the woman whom they admired on the internet could have a habit of scamming people.
I recently started watching Brittany and I was really enjoying her content. And then I discovered this on my TikTok and it literally blew me away. I've never felt so I had neuroblastoma and my life will forever be affected by it. Not only do I still live with physical conditions, but also mental conditions. It's just not funny to joke about or lie about. Don't do it.
This is why Beth tried to do her part by making sure Brittany's fans were aware of her ugly past. I don't wish any hate on her, but she does not deserve a platform, and people deserve to know the truth and be aware of what she is capable of. Sadly, nothing happened afterwards, and Brittany's Instagram posts from 2020 were completely wiped off. Right now, her very first Instagram post dates back to 2022. Nothing about Brittany Miller's cancer lie was mentioned on the internet again until 2023 when Beth brought it up on her TikTok page. She posted all the text messages and documents we've addressed so far on her account. But sadly, those videos barely broke 10,000 views. In fact, they barely made 500 likes. Some commenters believed everything she had said. No effing way, this is horrendous. I don't care how long ago this is disgusting, and I'm sorry to anyone that's hurt by this. That's not something to ever lie about. Wow, she's just lost a follower, that's for sure. Then on the other hand, there were some internet users who were still skeptical. They expressed that they wouldn't say anything until Brittany Miller explained her own side of the story. Some even wondered why Beth was even posting about it at all. This is terrible, I get it. But if this was years ago, what does bringing it up do? Holding on to resentment eats you up eventually. What commenters like this don't realize is that there are some behaviors that just can't be excused even after 100 years. Should someone who once made racist claims in the past be forgiven just because it was in the past? Look at Justin Bieber. He said the N-word in a video back in 2014.
One less lonely nigga. One less lonely nigga. One less lonely nigga.
He was 20 years old and hadn't known better. Still, he apologized for it. First in 2014, and a second time in 2019. What does this case teach us? It shows that no matter what, the past will always catch up to you. Like Bieber, Britney had to face the accusations if she wanted to protect her platform. But here's what makes her completely different from Justin Bieber. Britney wasn't acknowledging or apologizing for her wrongdoings. She remained silent through it all, posting on her social media account like nothing was happening. It was annoying, and her silence only made her fans question Beth and her quest to spread the truth. To commenters who kept wondering why Beth was bringing up the past when Britney had become a successful influencer, Beth defended herself. She claimed that she had done this back in 2020 when Britney had not gotten TikTok famous, but no one believed her. It was brought up in 2020 as mentioned. People were refusing to believe it. The mixed reactions on Britney's case continued around this time in 2023. Beth's posts were barely gaining any attention, and Britney's kept growing and growing until it got to 3.5 million followers. Why was this happening, you may ask? Well, it's because Britney had successfully reinvented herself as a relatable influencer. A very clever influencer who knew perfectly how to manipulate viewers on her fingertips. Her content was homely. You would never suspect that she was someone who once lied about having cancer. Britney posted cooking videos,
Honey roasted parsnips and carrots, but I hate parsnips, so I've just got a little bit of carrot. Oh, stuffing balls, but this is actually apple and rosemary stuffing balls.
Her specialty was always potato dishes. Britney's food content was surrounded around jacket potatoes.
Potato, but jacket potato is like one of my favourite dishes.
Roasted potatoes.
Real crispy potatoes.
And mashed potatoes.
It's dinner time! Mashed potato. It's dinner time! This is gorgeous mash.
Beyond her cooking videos, Britney often posted about her lifestyle, from dating vlogs of her and her boyfriend Ash.
Here's a vlog of what me and Ash got up to today. So first we came into town, he took some pictures of me. I really wanted some like cute autumn pics, and oh my god, this outfit was lush. And then we came to Starbucks, they had no pumpkin spice, I was literally fuming. So I got myself a chai and Ash got a mocha.
To shopping hauls.
Everyone literally raves about Team U, so I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. And I've got like a mixture of like home stuff and clothes. First of all, this cardigan, unreal, is from Team U.
She shared everything on her social media page. She also shared videos on how to style your clothing. Her brand was very fun to watch, and followers wanted more of it. Then in 2024, Britney's content transitioned to mummy influencing after she gave birth to twin boys. She positioned herself so well that no one would dare to doubt her. Everyone would believe she's a hard-working mom who's busy taking care of her two beautiful kids, setting a positive example in society. Her content now revolved around family, like this one where she, Ash, and the twins set up their Christmas tree.
Finished it off with a star, and I feel like I should have got an angel, but a star will do for now. And then we turned on the Christmas lights, and oh my god, I'm actually obsessed.
The video racked up 16.6 million views and gained over 1 million likes. Her videos attracted massive views like this. Here's another video of Britney just being happy about motherhood while revealing Ash and their babies.
Yeah. And here's Elijah having a cuddle with Daddy.
He's loving it.
He's Sparko, just like Emiliano.
This video gained over 900,000 views and 11.3 million likes.
Like it needs like more Christmas cushions. Ash put together the Christmas tree. I absolutely hate this bit. It just confuses the hell out of me.
The entire atmosphere in Britney's videos was genuinely refreshing. But here's the thing, as Britney continued to post warm content about her boys, she was actively blocking people who kept mentioning her past.
Brittany Miller has blocked me.
After I told her to address it, she was rude and has now blocked me. She doesn't deserve her platform. She's disgusting.
It got to a point that someone made an anonymous report to social services concerning Britney's parenting. The report made her out to be an abusive mother. Britney shared this story on her page.
Someone made an anonymous, obviously anonymous because you're pussy, report to social services about me and how I am as a mum, accusing me of child abuse.
Even her partner Ash was questioned as well.
So not only was Brittany Miller reported to social services, her partner Ash was also questioned. He was asked whether Brittany was a...
From an objective point of view, the situation wasn't fair on Britney's part. All she had ever shared on her page were videos of her making treats for kids.
Which one do you want? Kiwi.
And just cute family moments that always showed the kids happy and content. It was clear that the report had been made due to the attention Britney was receiving.
But people just want to shit all over it all the time. People are so desperate on like my downfall and bringing me down. But bringing my children into it is ludicrous. Like, why would you want to do that to them? Like innocent babies, why would you want to do that to them?
It's not a good situation, and no one should face such accusations, not even Britney, especially when her online content has never given viewers a reason to doubt her parenting skills. And eventually nothing came out of this social service story. In fact, Britney's supporters only loved her even more. They wished her well, and even hoped that the people who had made the report were faced with legal charges. And like before, Britney continued to live her life. For years, she successfully buried the cancerous story to make sure she cultivated a following like this, a following of devoted fans who had absolutely no idea who they were actually supporting. Now, Beth must have been losing her mind. Imagine watching your abuser become famous, and nobody believes you when you try to expose them.
That was rude. That was pretty fucking rude.
And get this, Beth wasn't jealous. She was a victim trying to warn people, trying to get some semblance of justice, trying to make sure the world knew who Brittany Miller really was. Yet for years, Brittany got away with it until the Sun newspaper came to the rescue. On the 4th of November 2025, the Sun newspaper published an article on Brittany Miller's story. The publication explained everything Beth had been telling the internet since 2020. And here's the twist. It also covered another legal issue about the influencer that was hardly talked about. It was another fraud-related case in 2018, where Britney had been caught after giving a railway company a fake name and address. She was fined a fee of £320 as a result. The Sun exposed everything they could gather from the internet and private sources about Brittany Miller. And from there on, her story spread to other big media outlets like BBC and Cosmopolitan. Within 2 days, Brittany Miller's name began to trend online. And thanks to this, Britney was backed into a corner. This time around, she couldn't delete or block her way out of her past mistakes. So on November 10th, 7 days after the publication, Britney posted a 5-minute-long apology video on her TikTok. It immediately became one of her most viewed pieces of content. The video gained over 12 million views and more than 800,000 likes. The video opens with Britney looking into the camera, her face contorted in what's supposed to be distress, and she starts it by claiming that she owed it to her fans to tell the truth. And not just any truth, but her truth.
Okay, so I never wanted to talk about this time in my life because it was a very difficult time for me. But I owe it to my followers and people that support me.
Now, there are multiple problems with this introduction. The first one is the fact that Britney had called it my truth. This is a red flag because it's telling her audience that regardless of the evidence they had, the only thing that stands as the truth to her is her own explanation. Secondly, she claimed that people were twisting and exaggerating the whole story. This is bold and unreasonable because there are multiple text messages and court documents that prove that she was a fraud. That's not twisting anything. That's just showing receipts. Then the last problem with this introduction is how she claimed that she owed it to her followers to make this video. Now, Britney had more than enough time to come clean to her fans and followers. She could have said something between those 5 years of posting about potatoes, clothes, and makeup. But she didn't. Now, why was she suddenly moved to address it right after a newspaper had spread her story all over the media? It was because of how badly it could ruin her reputation. In reality, she was just the same as her 21-year-old self. She was still manipulative and insensitive to the cancer lie she had orchestrated all by herself, and her word choices in the opening of her apology video just proved that. Surprisingly, this time, she continued her apology with a new explanation no one had heard of since the 2017 scam. Specifically speaking, Britney claimed that she had bad mental health.
So back in 2017, I had extremely bad mental health. And at the time, I didn't realise how bad. But it was bad.
Extremely bad mental health, she'd said. That was her excuse. It's so vague, it's almost comedic. But okay, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Mental health struggles are real and serious, and they can absolutely lead people to make terrible decisions. But at the same time, cancer is real and serious, and Britney lied about that as well. So what should people believe? Britney painted the picture of a dark period in her life to show how depressed she had been.
I was depressed, I was suicidal, I was lost, I was confused. I lost my partner, I lost my job. And there was lots of things in that year that led me to be mentally ill.
Then it was at the height of this dark period that she had made a stupid mistake. She told her friend she had cancer. This is where the whole story began.
I said I had an illness, which was cancer. I didn't do this for malicious intent or to scam people.
Britney expressed that she had not done this out of desperation to keep the people in her life close to her, and it wasn't a long-running scam like people were claiming.
I did this out of desperation. I did it to keep the people close to me, to keep the people in my life close. This was not a long-running scam or a manipulative story like it's been made out.
You see how Britney's truth is starting to resemble lies? Despite the amount of evidence piled up against her, Britney made it seem like it had been one short discussion about cancer that went out of hand. There are text messages, proof of Britney guilt-tripping Beth repeatedly. There were talks about fake radiotherapy appointments. All these continued from November to February the next year. Yet Britney sat in front of the camera to claim that it was not a long-running scam. Britney had claimed that she did it out of desperation to keep people close to her. But it's insane how she doesn't see the problem right there. Using a fake cancer diagnosis to manipulate people into staying in your life is literally the definition of malicious content. That's not desperation, that's psychological abuse. The whole situation had taken her to court, and yet she was claiming it wasn't a scam. The irony writes itself. But wait, it gets better. Britney now entered the GoFundMe part of her story. Hear what she had to say.
The people that I told then told a couple of others. And there was a fundraising page made on behalf of me, which I knew about.
Unbelievable. Britney had the guts to say that she wasn't the one who created the account, despite the fact that here's proof of her admitting to the police that she set the page herself. There's also evidence that Britney was the one who sent the link herself, and messages of Britney thanking people for donating. Surprisingly, despite the existence of these documents, Britney Miller was still lying to everyone. This was meant to be an apology video. She was supposed to apologize for lying about a serious illness long ago. Yet everything she said in the video were lies. Britney claimed that she had not touched a penny from the donations and had it shut down as soon as she discovered it.
And as soon as I saw there was 2 donations, I had the page immediately shut down and I didn't take a penny from it.
Again, this directly contradicts the legal evidence. Britney was convicted for fraud. The compensation she was ordered to pay, the £85 fee, was for the money she had taken. The court wouldn't convict people and order compensation for fraud that didn't result in financial loss. Throughout this entire apology, Britney does this thing where she closes her eyes and makes sobbing sounds, but there are no actual tears. It's like watching someone perform what they think crying looks like without actually crying. It's uncomfortable to watch, not because it's emotional, but because it's obviously fake. They didn't believe the tears or the mental health excuse. With the way she was very robotic in her video, some viewers even wondered if she was reading from a script. Britney's apology video only proved that she was not genuine at heart. Just look at how she claimed that she had forgiven herself while hiding behind mental illness.
It took me a long time to understand why I did it. And I forgive myself because I was mentally ill.
Notice how it's so similar to how she apologized for her wrongdoings in the past, while also hiding behind her cancer and saying that she forgives herself. Well, that's nice for her. Maybe it's why she didn't talk about it over the years. But what about the victims of her manipulation and fraud? What about the followers she purposefully kept in the dark while Beth tried to inform them? What about cancer patients who might be among her 3.5 million followers? After her long, meaningless explanation, Britney ended her video by first thanking her supporters.
And I also just want to say a massive, massive thank you to all the people out there that support me and still follow me. When you didn't know my truth, you still believed in me.
And then by stating that she wanted to be an advocate for mental illness.
And I'm here because I want to be an advocate for mental health. I want to help people because I know what it's like to be in a dark place.
Britney's apology video was tone-deaf and full of lies. Not to mention she omitted so much. She didn't address the theft from Beth's grandmother, the specific manipulative text messages, and the fact that she only admitted to any of this after being caught and prosecuted. Unfortunately, her fake apology was still not over. On November 13th, 3 days after the apology video, she made a follow-up video. In this one, she basically repeated every lie she told in the first, but she added something new. Britney claimed that mental health wasn't her excuse for lying about cancer, but it was her reason.
Mental health is not my excuse, but it's my reason. No one in their right frame of mind would come out and say that unless they had malicious intent.
But here's the thing, mental illness can explain behavior without excusing it. And more importantly, the way Britney describes her mental health situation doesn't quite add up with the calculated nature of what she did. There's a condition called factitious disorder, also known as Munchausen syndrome, where people fake or induce illness to receive attention and sympathy.
There is a delusional disorder where you quite literally lose touch with reality and do things that do not align with reality for reasons that do not make sense. Which is why everybody is like, why the fuck would she?
It's a genuine psychological disorder, and we saw something potentially similar with Kira Cousins and her fake pregnancy. Now, people with factitious disorder often believe their own lies to some extent. They're trapped in a psychological cycle where attention and sympathy become addictive.
Maybe she wasn't kidding when she said, I had a mental illness. Because maybe that mental illness was factitious disorder.
But here's the difference. Britney admitted to police that she never had cancer and knew exactly what she was doing when she set up the fundraising page. So that level of self-awareness doesn't align with factitious disorder. And what Britney did looks less like a mental health crisis and more like deliberate manipulation with mental health struggles as a contributing factor. Yes, she was probably depressed. And yes, she probably lost her job and her partner. Yes, that probably makes her desperate for connection and attention. But she made active choices to lie, to sustain the lie over months, to set up a fundraising page, to steal, to thank people for donations, and to maintain the deception even when directly confronted. These were conscious decisions, not symptoms of uncontrollable mental illness. Should mental health be a valid excuse? Unless Britney received a real diagnosis from a professional psychiatrist, we'll never know. The internet can only speculate. From her mummy vlogs, we can see that she possesses enough mental strength to be a loving mother to her twin sons, but who knows what else she could be capable of in the near future. After the entire saga, Britney continues to post on TikTok as if nothing happened. Days after her apology video, she's back to showing her twins, cooking her meals, and doing shopping hauls. Her follower count barely affected. She still has millions of followers immediately after the scandal broke. Her videos still get hundreds of thousands of views. It's almost as if the controversy acted as publicity for her. However, although nothing much was happening on her end, many internet users still remained angry.
Do you know what I think Britney Miller should have done? I think she should have just said, I was an absolute cunt. I done wrong. I was a piece of crap. I'm trying to improve myself. Instead, it was, I suffered with mental health. It was, other people are exaggerating.
Even cancer patients and survivors showcase their displeasure. People who've actually gone through chemotherapy, lost their hair, vomited from treatments, watched loved ones die. They're posting video responses expressing how insulted and mocked they feel by Britney's actions.
I honestly don't ever understand why someone would ever claim to have cancer when they don't. Because if you know or have had cancer, you'll know how fucking hard it is. The pain I am in is...
These aren't just random haters, they're people who lived the reality that Britney weaponized for sympathy. She She mocked their real suffering, made it sound like it was nothing, all for money and attention. And despite every attempt to get actual remorse from her, Britney continues to live her life as an influencer to more than 3 million people. People have been calling for her to get deplatformed. Sadly, at the end of the day, nothing has happened. And the irony is she could continue to grow her platform, millions of followers at a time. So where do we go from here? Britney Miller's story is frustrating because it feels unfinished. There's no satisfying resolution and no moment of genuine remorse. She lied, she got caught, she gave a half-hearted apology full of more lies, and then she just continued. Her career is intact. Her followers remain loyal. Her life goes on. Her case is quite similar to Kira Cousins, the Scottish woman who faked pregnancy in October 2025. Kira had lied to her friends and family for over 10 months. She wore a fake baby bump, posted fake ultrasound pictures, threw a baby shower, and when it was time to give birth, she brought home a silicone doll as her baby. This case is awfully similar to Britney's. They both deceived their loved ones for an extended period of time. Today, Kira Cousins is profiting off her lies by featuring in a documentary by Soho Studios Entertainment and Glasgow-based Two Rivers Media. This documentary will tell her audience all about her story, about how she made a fool out of everyone by lying to them. Will Britney Miller's case end up the same way? Will she sit in a documentary maker's office one day to talk about how bad mental health had pushed her to lie about cancer when she was 21 years old? Kira Cousins fooled everyone, including the father of her fake child. Will Britney do the same? If she was evil enough to deceive her best friend, one can only wonder what she'll do to her partner Ash. We can't say for sure what'll happen in the future for Britney Miller. Right now, she's a millionaire TikTok influencer with 3.5 million followers. And nothing has changed since the whole incident blew up on the internet. The only thing that Britney Miller's case has proven so far is that her audience would always choose entertainment over ethics. And that's the most depressing part of the entire story. What do you think? Will Britney Miller's past ever let her go? Will she ever scam people in the future again? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching and see you in our next video.